Thank you for joining us at Fish Fanatics. And this episode is actually brought to you by Whisker Secret Tackle.
So make sure you guys go to whiskersecret.com for all your catfishing gear.
Enjoy the episode, guys.
That was a very enthusiastic clap.
Because I'm excited to see you guys.
Oh, that's making me feel special.
All right. Are we good, everybody? Are we good? We got food. We got drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guys hear okay? Everybody good?
I can hear you just fine.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't put my chair down a little
Let me know if
bit.
you guys may turn your volume up, you think, kid? You guys sound
Hello,
good?
hello.
There we go.
Hello. I just got to make sure I stay right here.
All right. All right, man.
You're not going to try a beer today?
I am.
Oh, you're going to try one
I'm
beer?
going to fucking try one.
Wait, are you recording already?
Yes, I am.
Drink,
Hold on.
if you drink a Busch Light, it's practically water. So it might be your best bet.
Yeah.
Nectar of the gods, if you will.
Nectar of the gods. All right, before we do anything here, I'll do a quick little selfie because, you know, I like you guys. That was not do that again.
You talking about yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much. All right, everybody. Oh, shit, I'm loud. Well, I'm always loud. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fish Fanatics. This is Granny, Mapa Fishing. Got
Kit with the Fishing Kit YouTube channel.
Today, we're actually on site at quick shout out to Johnston Bait and Tackle for allowing us to come in here, record at their location here. If you guys ever get a chance to swing by, is this Central Iowa? I mean, that's not downtown Iowa. Is it North Des Moines?
Well, it's Central Iowa.
I'd say it's Central Iowa.
Well, okay, Central Iowa.
It's not Central Des Moines.
No, it's
North. Oh, it's Johnston.
It's appropriately named.
There we go.
Yeah.
where is this place?
So everybody that's listening to this in audio, if you guys are wondering, like, man, those two cats sound familiar. Not, Grandy and Fishing Kit here. We have Mr. River Certified and Ryan.
Every time you say cats, my brain autofills fish. Immediately afterwards.
Sorry, I try to act young and trying to use the linguals that they try to use. It just doesn't work.
I don't know any young people that say cats.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they use
That's
that
like
word.
an old person thing.
Gosh dang it! All right, grab me a beer. Here we go. This,
Gotcha.
So if you guys have been listening and following us, this is going to be my first beer in a little bit over a month.
Wow.
So this is a special occasion for Ryan joining us and Spencer here joining us. So I'm just letting you guys know, if I get gout, my wife is going to blame the shit out of you two.
I have no problem being the guy that people blame.
Yeah.
It's never been an issue for me.
No,
There we go.
but I do wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you guys. So we're putting this to the test. I'm doing a bush latte, by the way. The Iowa water? Is that what they call it?
Something like that.
It's like Iowa's #1 trick or treat or something. They did a poll like the #1 candy in each state, and for some reason Busch Light
Busch
was
Light.
Iowa.
Was the candy?
I think that
Yeah.
was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate you,
Thanks
gentlemen.
for having us.
Yep, thanks.
Oh, I just finished mine.
Well, I guess you need another one. Hey, he had to catch up because Fishing
Thank
Kit.
you.
Shout out to Fishing Kit right here. He supplied dim sum for us. I think this is Spencer's first time having dim sum.
Mine too, and it's delicious.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
There you guys go. So we're introducing these gentlemen to Asian. Is it Chinese cuisine?
It is Chinese.
It is Chinese.
It was. I mean, you're making it sound like I'm a super humble guy, but it was more for myself because I haven't had it in a while. I was like,
I'm
well, I'm on
starving.
that side of town. I might as well
Dude, what are
order
you
a whole
doing?
bunch.
Just in case there's females listening, I'm trying to say how nice of a cat you are. Here we go, guy you are. That you decided to give people lunch and shit, man.
Catfish.
You never.
Catfish.
I never hear you use the term cat.
Hey,
Really?
Until today.
At the end of the day, the motivation doesn't matter. The
That's right.
end result is what it is. So any ladies who are looking for
A little dim sum day. Get on,
Oh
kid.
shit!
Yeah. When Kit's craving some dim sum,
Oh, boy.
you can count on
And he
him
goes all
providing.
out. You can see all the
He did.
containers on the table. He went
Yeah,
all out.
for sure. Oh, by the way, so if you guys have not noticed, we upgraded. We got our video now, our video podcast on Spotify now.
Oh, sweet.
So
Yeah.
make sure if you guys listen to on Spotify and everything, if you want to see the video version of us, you see it there. Obviously YouTube too and everything, but I was able to be somewhat tech savvy enough to figure it out.
I'm still waiting for Ryan to get the video side of things going on ours.
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys about that.
It's just
but
another timetable that I don't have quite yet. But this winter, it will.
It'll take you
It'll open up a little
another
bit.
half hour to edit them once you have it down.
Well, like last Friday's podcast, I got done at 11:30 Thursday night. So, you know.
What we've noticed, so since we started doing the podcast, is that as long as if you do the editing, if you just don't really edit anything, you just put the beginning and the end intros or whatever the case, dude, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is now with the Spotify, with the video and everything, can you upload, same thing on YouTube or whatever you're gonna do? We just use the same audio.
Right. I just the problem is I just say the F word too much.
I take out F words and awkward pauses and boring.
I'm with you.
Because if I find it boring, I know everybody else is going to find it boring, so I cut it out.
And Ryan always misses one F word. Always.
Well, we make a joke. It's like, where's Waldo? You gotta go through the podcast.
Well, you gotta think of it this way. I think in the film industry, if it's a PG-13, you allowed one F word.
Yeah. So we're still PG-13.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're so good to go.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far, you guys want to formally introduce yourselves?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm Ryan Tasler.
You forgot your nickname.
Well, it's the wrong
Flathead.
podcast.
No, it's the same everywhere. The Flathead Assassin.
And I'm got Tasler's Guide Service. It's a catfishing guide service I started out this year. I got Tasler Animal Control. It's a business I also started this year. I'm on with Spencer on River Certified Podcasts and make some appearances on some videos as well.
Not much lately.
Not much lately. Like I said, I think we've only fished together 3 or 4 times this whole summer.
Well, we've been doing a lot of podcasts. That's
have,
kind of been eating
yeah.
up our day of the week that we go fishing.
And you run guide trips during the day. I run guide trips during the night.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't allow for much time to fish together.
We'll have to go next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a guide trip next Friday, but other than that, I should be pretty open.
Yeah, we'll go Tuesday or Wednesday.
Sounds good.
And I'm Spencer. Pretty much do everything Ryan just said he does.
Only better.
Except, well, Ryan probably does it better. You've done the guiding thing better than I have lately. You've been a better
my
guy.
last couple trips have been rough.
Well, you've finally brought yourself down to my level the last couple trips. I don't do animal control, so if you have raccoon issues, get a hold of Ryan. I just look at him, maybe take a picture, and leave. That's
Sorry about your problem, sir.
Yeah, that really sucks. You should call a professional like Ryan. I don't know why you called me. And then I guess I have a YouTube channel called River Certified. It's just River Certified for pretty much everything I do.
There you guys go. Don't forget, you guys got to check out their podcast, River Certified.
Yep.
Both these gentlemen are on there, so
We've graduated from cats to gentlemen.
here we go.
So Ryan, are you kind of like the guy that edits all the podcasts now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken that role over.
Okay.
Because Spencer was running on 23 hours out of 24 hours, and he needed at least a 3-hour break. So now he's down to 21 out of 24.
Well, let's jump into this, because this was your first full year and a half now. I think the last time we had you on, I think I had you on, like, this is the first year now that you no longer teach.
Right.
You're full-time fishing, YouTube, full-time guide service, full-time podcaster, all this shebang.
2 of those things make money.
One of those things is super fun.
It is fun. And it does promote the other 2. So
Exactly.
It does help.
Yeah, you've booked trips off of that.
Oh,
Off the
absolutely.
podcast.
See?
Yes.
Yep.
So how has it been? Was it worth it to quit your day job and become a full-time fishing guy? I guess fishing guy for a living.
I mean, it depends on what you consider worth it. Like, when you're teaching, you have this stability. You're going to get paid every month. You have health insurance all year. You know, your retirement's pretty much taken care of. And now none of those things are guaranteed.
Yeah.
And that adds a certain layer of stress because I value that stability. But I've been making it work so far, and hopefully it continues. You know, I just don't take any of it for granted, and I just try to, Ryan, you summed it up. Like, when I was talking to you about it, was you wake up broke every day, and you got to go. You got to go earn your money.
Yeah.
You know, and
nothing's guaranteed. You wake up broke, and if you want to eat that day, then go earn it.
That's a great way to look at it. If you, as a business owner, entrepreneur, everything, you wake up broke.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how I feel, and that's how I try to approach everything. And so far, it's been going pretty good, and hopefully, it continues to go that direction.
Yeah.
As long as I can make a living, but thankfully, I don't spend a pile of money.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Ryan, so this is your first dab into guide service. I mean, how?
Yeah. Well, me and Spencer, it kind of happened on a whim. Spencer said, I'm full from now until the end of this season and a lot of next season, and I'm turning away trips. Why don't you get a boat? So I started looking for a boat. I called him, and I'm like, well, I'm going to Brainerd, Minnesota to pick up a boat. He's like, are you really?
Nice.
And it just kind of took off from there.
And it's a sweet rig. Anybody who's going to book a trip with Ryan, it's an 1860, which on the waterways we run, that's 18-foot long John boat, 60 foot on the floor with a 9065 Honda jet on the back, side console, tons of room, and it can go through super skinny water, and it's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
And I just, when I went up and bought the boat, it's like a 6.5 hour drive one way. So I loaded my girlfriend up. We just headed out at like 4 in the morning and got up there, took it out on a very short test drive on this private lake. Mm-hmm. It leveled out. Everything was good. So I loaded it up, drove it back, got everything. It took me probably 3 weeks to fine tune it, get the rod holders where I want, get the trolling motor, get the fish finder, get everything the way I wanted it to. I took it out on the river.
Dim some good shrimp in there.
That's why it's named that. But the first time I took it out on the river, it was just a pooch. Like in the current, it couldn't get up on plane. I had a.
If you laid out on the front deck while I was driving, it could kind of get on plane.
So
Gotcha.
I was very disappointed. Like I was like, oh my God, I just spent X amount of money on this dang boat, and it's not going to be serviceable for my guide trips. Uh-huh. So then I had another guy come and show me, because I'm new to jet boats. I didn't know.
Me too, bud.
How they work. I didn't know the ins and outs of them. And he showed me how to tear it apart, and he showed me what the issue was. So $700 later, I got a brand new, pretty much lower end, and now it's where it needs to be. It
and
gets
she
up.
Screams now.
Compared to where it was a huge weight off my shoulders, because I was like, for $700, I got a boat that's now usable. Mm-hmm. I'll take it. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, one of my things I was coming into this, I was wondering, well, you moved now, so it might not be relevant to my question, but you guys were from the same area, and I was wondering, can there be too many guides in an area? And because you guys, I'm guessing you guys would be targeting kind of the same stuff. Oh, yeah. Can there be too many guides in one area? I mean, I know you said you're having to turn people away.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of where we kind of complement each other. We're kind of on the same team. Mm-hmm. We have the same goals. We talk to each other. We communicate on, okay, this is what works for me. This is where I've gone. So,
well, dude, like there's got to be some of that. If you want to be a successful guide, you need that network, because because you can only by yourself you can only do so many things at once and check so many boxes at once. But when you have that person that you communicate with, that can tell you what they've been seeing, and then you tell them what you've been seeing, in that exchange of information, that's so beneficial. It makes not only you a better angler, but you can put people on better opportunities for fish.
For sure.
So, can there be too many guides? I absolutely think so. But with that being said, whatever guides are in your area, like you need to be able to communicate with them and share that information. Like, so me and Ryan talk, and then there's another guy, Jimmy Brown. He runs Chasing Cats Guide Service, and he mostly does trolling, fishing for channel cats on reservoirs. And then he's got some really cool multi-species opportunities beyond that he does. But anytime I'm going to be pulling baits on reservoirs for channel cats, I get a hold of Jimmy, like, what have you been seeing? And he's always been very open about.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he really is.
He's an awesome dude, and unfortunately, I can't provide him much help, because what I do it doesn't really translate. But if I could, I would. You know,
if you can get through the 4 inches of water for a quarter of a mile, I got a spot for you.
But can there be too many? Yeah. I mean, it
it only takes one bad one to kind of ruin an area as well.
But what would make a bad one?
Yeah. How can you ruin an area if you
let's
just say
poaching. Let's call it fishing poaching. Where they, maybe overtake the area. Like
so they just go dip into the well too many times, or
they
harvest a bunch of fish.
They harvest a bunch of fish, or do it unethically. Like let's say they go. I've actually heard some scenarios where they go run diddy poles and kind of stage fish in an area
as a guide.
As a guide,
really?
There was a guy down in, I'm not gonna say the state, but it was just a state below us.
There's a guy in this city that does that.
Yeah.
I heard, but
that actually
it's hearsay, so I don't know.
No, it's real.
Oh shit!
Well, this guy actually got busted for it.
Oh dang!
For staging fish and
you're talking stage, like saving them,
like in a netted off an area.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yes.
I thought you were just talking about guys who would rod and reel fish and then also run diddy poles. So
just harvest the shit out of it. Yeah.
Well,
no, this guy's would go out and run diddy poles and catch all these big fish and then stage them into an area and then run his guide trips and that.
Holy crap!
And then it's captive area.
Nobody I know around here is doing that.
No.
Well, there's guys who run diddy pole guide trips around here,
which is fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, that's
a good time.
Thought you were getting at.
But a lot of our audience that we're actually going to take out on guide trips wouldn't want that trip.
No, they want the opportunity to catch one on rod and reel.
Yeah,
for sure.
And as fun as diddy sticks are, like I love them. Like they are a blast. There's just something special about going around a river bend when you got them set and you got your spotlight on the bank and you're looking for them and then you see it and it's just going straight down and it goes down and doesn't come back up. You're like, that's a good one. But then catching one on rod and reel, when you hear a clicker rolling or you see a rod fold and then all of a sudden that battle is in your hands. It's you have the visual component of seeing that fishing rod folded in half, and then you have like the physical side of things where you get to genuinely fight hands-on versus a diddy pole. Like you see it go down and there's a little bit of a fight, like trying to get him to the net. But most of the finesse is just to keep him from pulling the hook.
Right.
If you really, even a 50-pounder, you grab that line, you could lift him in the boat if you're strong enough, you could lift him in the boat by that line. You don't have to finesse it for any reason other than pulling the hook.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody who books trips, they want that opportunity to catch them on rod and reel. At least everybody I'm around.
For sure.
Man, imagine being like a customer for one of these guides and you roll up on a spot and then you notice that your guide has these fish corralled.
See, I know. But how would you know because I'm assuming he releases them before he takes the guides.
It was like he netted off a section of the river.
Man, that's an man, that takes some coordination but I guess
he works. Yeah, he's a worker if he's doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm like, dang, you really hustling on that one.
You can say it's unethical, but you can't say it was easy.
Right.
Very true. Very true.
Like me as a customer, if I caught wind of that, I would call him out. Like, did you really just put these fish in a pen for me to catch?
I'm sure some people do.
Yeah.
And he just obviously doesn't take them anymore.
Or he'll be just like, no, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, that's crazy.
But yeah, let's say you go with him and catch a 40 and then find that out later on. It just kind of takes the mystique.
It depends on the person, though.
That's true.
Like there's so many people who go fish pay lakes, and to them a 40-pounder out of a pay lake probably does feel the same as one out of its natural and like waterways where they're actually from.
That's true.
I'm kind of weird on the opposite end of that spectrum, because if I catch, I had a trip and I was talking to dude on the trip, and he was asking me how many you get over 50. I'm like, man, I haven't seen one over 50 in like 2 years. Oh wait, client caught one this June.
Yeah.
Oh wait, caught 2 of them in Tennessee. But they just feel different, because he was asking me if when's the last time I caught one, and other than the Tennessee fish, it's been over 2 years since I caught a 50. And then the client fish, remember the client fish, and then the ones in Tennessee just don't feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, a 50-pounder in Iowa is so much more special to me than a 50 from another state.
Well, a 50 in Iowa, let's say you've probably got what? 10? If close?
5 to 10, probably.
In your whole lifetime?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And he goes and knocks out 2 in one afternoon in Tennessee.
It was like 3 hours.
Well, is it because, okay, what is it? Is it because of pressure? Because of the location, environment? Is it all the above?
See, the more I think about flatheads, the more I think there's way more than a lot of people believe. Mm-hmm. They're just so hard to target and catch. So I think Tennessee has a body of water that just has even more. And even with a lot of pressure, I think it would take a lot of pressure. Because they're so hard to catch, it would take a pile of pressure to bring that population down. I think they just have a watershed that supports a crap ton of big fish. Like from the ground up, like the watershed, the nutrients that substantiate this forage base that substantiates the next tier, the food pyramid. You know, they have the biggest skipjack herring in North America, which are, I mean, you hear about big largemouth in California on these reservoirs that get the crap stocked out of them with trout, because trout are such a great protein base to grow
High fat.
high fat and grow these big bass. I feel like skipjack might be comparable for catfish. The flathead version, and definitely the blue cat version. So I think that's just a body of water that propagates an enormous population of really big fish.
Well, to put it in perspective, you caught one of them in over 100-foot depth.
Yeah, there's a lot of habitat diversity there.
There's a lot of room for big fish in 100 feet of water.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got 70. The deepest water we see is
7?
Well,
Right now, maybe 5.
5? Yeah.
I caught that flathead yesterday out of 12.
Oh.
No?
The deepest water I see when it's low is like 24.
In like 2 spots.
Yeah,
You know,
that's not a lot, but there's
Yeah.
not a lot of 100-foot water down there either.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
There's like, actually, there is more I think about it. I think there's like 5 spots that are over 100 feet. But to have a pile of water that's 10 to 20, which is like primo flathead depth, and then a lot in between, and that just separates a lot of the fish. You know, like blue cats would compete directly with flatheads to a large degree, but you know, when you have that variance in depth, you have a lot of places for each of those fish to go to at different times, and they're not directly competing for the exact
They can
same.
find their own bubble.
Yeah. So more food, bigger fish.
So I went back to the seltzers. Just not because I prefer it. It's because I just want to do one beer today.
When you sprain your ankle, you don't go run a marathon as soon as it starts feeling better.
Thank you.
So how did the beer taste? Your first beer in over a month.
First beer in over a month.
Probably tastes very beery,
It's
considering you haven't had one
bit.
for a while.
Even if it's a Busch Light.
A lot better than a seltzer. I'm not a huge, Busch Light, Bud Light cat. Back in the day.
I might drink a seltzer with you just cause.
Okay, well, let me know whenever you're
I'm
ready.
just lying.
Wah, wah, wah.
If I was desperate,
He's like, I've only got so many. You can't have one.
if we had no beer, then I would do it. But we got plenty of beer.
Too funny. I wanted to ask you because I was listening to you guys' podcast the other day. I know you guys were kind of getting at it a little bit but I want to hear. Okay, mono versus braid.
Yes.
There we go. I know because your guys' podcast, you guys went on to. It was like 20 minutes. It was awesome.
I re-listened to that. I dominated you in that
See,
day.
there we go. I wanted to give Ryan. I want to give Ryan a chance. Come on, Ryan.
Reasons to back up
Here we
my
go.
claims.
And every reason I give you, you're like, that's true. But
No, I never. The only thing I said
you-
that's true is the abrasion resistance. Like you argued like Donald Trump. You're like, it's that way because I say it is.
is there any other reason needed?
Yes. Well, I mean, things actually have to have concrete evidence to support them to be true.
So
Whoa.
So let's bring in a new perspective. Fishing kit. So on your catfishing rods, do you prefer Braid, mono, why? What do you think it's better? I don't know if you listened to their latest episode.
I'm not completely caught up, so
okay.
I need a little bit of context.
But this is good. No, this
is perfect.
This is your actual, like your unaffected opinion on this.
Exactly.
Without hearing any of our reasons. Well, my reasons. Ryan didn't have a real reason.
Okay, so what I run on all my setups, I run Braid, and then I have a fluoro or mono leader.
Okay.
I don't fish a lot of tight structure, so I'm not worried about rocks, trees cutting out my braid.
Okay.
And if I break off, I'd rather break off a foot leader versus, I don't know, 20 yards, whatever, of braid.
So tackle conservation is one of the reasons you go with braid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Now,
but to save his ass, he goes with a mono leader.
No.
Fluoro or mono. I guess mono's cheaper.
We'll put fluoro and mono in the same category, just because they're comparable. But
well, if you give me fluoro too, then you don't have a leg to stand on.
I have plenty. But why do you go with braid mainline then? Like you said, this is what you do, but why do you choose to go that route other than tackle conservation?
You just fit more braid per surface area versus mono.
So is it because you want to use smaller reels, or is it because line capacity is a consideration for the way you fish?
I don't know, I just feel better if I fit more line on a spool. You get more bang.
But all right,
so if you're not trolling or bumping, line capacity probably isn't an issue.
That's what I was going to get at. Like the reality is, I mean, even a 50-pound flathead with, if you're using appropriate tackle, 50 to 85-pound braid and, a 40 to 60-pound leader, they're not going to rip off more than 10 feet. Like if I hook a fish and it pulls off 10 feet of line, I'm like, whoa.
And for me, it's easier for me to cast braid versus a spool of mono.
Yeah.
And then once you get that bird's nest, because it's going to happen, for me, it's easier to untangle some braid.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? No way.
I would, for me, the big thick mono is like easier to pick apart.
Because with mono,
but it kinks.
Once that spool like inflates, it is so much harder to dig through it.
Sure.
Versus braid, you kind of, I will pull out all the braid and then get to where the tangle is, and it's easier for me to work it out.
So I would preface that by saying, if you are experienced, if you're an experienced untangler of braid, it is easier.
It is.
But if you're, no, I'm not throwing any shade at you or anything. I'm just
it'll get there.
He goes,
But if you're somebody who's not familiar, like hasn't blown up a bait caster with braid and had a big braid bird's nest, and you look at it, you're like, how the hell am I supposed to get this untangled? It would seem daunting, but if you've done it a handful of times and you get good at it, I'm going to say braid is probably easier. Not compared to like 80-pound mono like what Ryan runs.
Yeah. It's easy to untie rope.
That's true. That's true.
You're right on that. Very true. So, but your guys' the argument's like, which one is a better, easier way to tie a knot? Is it easier to tie a knot with a mono, 80-pound, or a braid?
Braid, hands down.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree, Ryan?
Yeah,
I just want to know
why.
I used mono, or I used braid probably 2 seasons.
Okay.
Back when I was growing up, and it was just a pain in the butt. And maybe
was it because your knots slipped?
At times, yes.
Just like the one at the bottom of your spool when it hit that really, that really big strong fork stick that had been rotting on the bank for 2 years, and you decided to use it as a rod holder.
That was a very unfortunate experience. We lost a good one on a guide trip the other night.
Oh no!
I was sleeping in the boat. They were sleeping on cots right next to the rods, and I wake up to this rod in overdrive. Just nobody's moving. They're asleep. So I sprint down the riverbank. Just in time, I get about 5 feet away, and my rod goes up and then drops.
Oh, shit.
It completely spooled it. It took the whole freaking.
Wow.
And if my knot hadn't have broke, my rod and reel would have been gone. So kind of glad.
It's a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise.
Good thing you did that. Not broke.
Because it literally went straight through the fork stick and then just dropped.
Wow.
I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
And I didn't have my light on or anything, so I was thinking it turned around and was running at me. So
Yeah.
I was reeling like hell trying to catch up the slack. And then I turned my light on, I'm like, oh. Because it didn't even click in my head that was an option that could have just happened, that just got spooled.
That knot should not have broke.
It should not have, but I'm kind of glad it did. Didn't get to see the fish, but still have my combo.
So obviously, knot tying ability is an advantage to mono.
It is.
I mean, obviously, because
Terminal,
that was a really
terminal knots.
That was a really strong knot you
Terminal
had tied
knots.
there.
Well, when you catch a fish that's 237 pounds, because that's what I'm guessing he was.
Okay.
We're still talking about Flathead.
Right. Flathead?
I've caught fish.
In like 4 foot of water, so he had plenty of room to run.
I've caught fish quite a bit bigger than that, right? Just saying. No, mono definitely has its place, and so does braid.
Yeah.
I think, and they both have advantages and disadvantages. The moral of the argument is it's personal preference, and it makes a fun argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What
And
do
it-
you run?
Every single one I run braid, and I run with a mono leader. And the only reason why, like you're just saying, my biggest thing is I can cast it a lot easier.
Yeah.
With
Well,
the,
it's
with the
thinner
braid.
diameter, so it's going to
Exactly.
go further.
And I don't know. It's just in the back of my head. Hey, the further I can cast, better chances I can catch a fish. That's just,
Right.
back of my head. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know any better than that. So I use a braid. I can cast it further.
And one huge advantage of braid that I've seen is when you're anchor fishing and there's wind, the wind catches my bigger diameter mono a lot more than his braid.
Oh, yeah.
So it slacks up my line where a lot of times it won't slack up his line.
Or heavy current. You're
heavy current.
You're forced to use heavier sinkers than
Yes.
you would with braid, and that can sometimes lead to more snags
Yeah.
or less snags,
And-
depending on the
and-
situation.
A harder hookup once the fish does take it because you're
On
already got a tight
small
line.
fish, like big
Yeah.
big fish hook up either way. It don't matter.
But the only bad thing about braids is the backlash. You hear me all the time like, "Fuck, this sucks, man." Because when I backlash, like last time we went fishing the weekend, like I threw away the bait caster for the whole rest of the fishing trip.
Well, like what he was saying, once you get used to backlashes with braid,
and
I
I
find
think
it
you'd
easier.
be used to it by now.
You have to suck really bad to get really good.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you're. Yeah.
Well, that does say something. Like, I'm jealous of anybody who is naturally good at something because I've yet to find the thing I'm naturally good at. Like, it takes me so much practice to be proficient.
He's
at
like the
anything.
Kool-Aid man. He's got to bust through the wall. Oh, yeah.
Too funny. So
Never quite thought of it like that.
we were talking before we jumped on today. I want to hear it because I wanted to ask him earlier, Spencer, today. How did he do yesterday fishing? So he kind of gave me a little bit of a background.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about
But I was like, you know what? I'm going to save this for the podcast. I kind of want to hear how he did because, he took out the yak yesterday, this professional yak catfishing guy. So we shall see. But, we're talking. How'd you do yesterday, Spencer, catfishing?
If we're looking at the fishing side of things,
Yeah.
it was fine.
Oh.
Caught 2 flatheads up to 20 some pounds and caught a nice channel cat.
How's the
And
adventure, though?
Now, what led up to that wasn't so great.
Embrace the suck.
I swamped my kayak for the first time ever.
Okay.
Wow.
I completely filled it up to the top.
Which you this year just switched back to a sit inside. You
Yeah,
had gone to the sit on top for a while and
Yeah.
just kind of switched back.
I probably would have just flipped it sit on top over.
Just flip it
Yeah.
over. Would have
Like-
been easier? Or...
I would have been chasing more stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, there would have been more stuff floating down river.
Okay.
Which would have helped our segment of our podcast.
Oh.
Things floating down
Well,
river.
there was still things floating down river. But what happened, our rivers are so low, like the idea of filling it up or capsize or anything was not even anywhere remotely in my mind at all. Like it is, the river's actually lower than it was last year, and last year was the second. This might be the lowest I've ever seen. I'd have to double check my records, but there was one spot where the river was, it was a run. The river was like normal width. It was bank to bank. And then you get to the end of this run ahead of this hole, it shallows up, kind of makes a little riffle, and all the water's choked down to an area that's maybe, I don't know, 10 feet wide. So whatever water's left over is all funneled through that one spot, and there was a log right in the middle. Well,
I've seen this play out before.
No, I had no, like the idea of it being a problem never entered my mind. So I see the log, and I actually am messing with my transducer on my kayak that hangs over the side because I didn't want to get hooked up.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't want to
bust your transducer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm messing with that, and while I'm messing with that, I bump into the log with the front of my kayak, and then the back end of the kayak, the current pushes it up against the log. Still didn't think it was a big deal. But apparently the way the kayak was weighted, it was weighted more towards the back. And as soon as I bump into it, water immediately starts coming into the kayak, and I'm like,
now that's an issue.
Well, the craziest part of it was, before I could finish the sentence in my mind of there's water coming in here, it was full to the top.
Quick.
Just
quick.
like within 1 to 2 seconds, my kayak was completely full to the top with water. And within those, I immediately reacted, jumped out of the kayak, tried to move it, and it probably weighs 300-400 pounds at this point in time with all the water in it. Maybe more. I don't know. It was hard to move, but I got it to the. With this all happens within like 5 to 10 seconds. So try to move it. It's heavy. Move it anyway. Get the nose up on the bank because it's only 5 feet away, and as soon as I get the nose up on the bank, I see movement out of the corner of my eye. That's my bait tank floating downstream upside down.
Oh, shit.
With one of my rods floating behind it. I drop, let go the kayak, race down, grab the bait tank, grab my water jug, because that was the only liquids I brought on the trip. So grab those, run back, and then can't see my combo. And then luckily it like the current is revolving at that particular spot, and I see it, like the current, it swept down and then swept back up current because it was spinning there. So I grabbed that. Then I look at my kayak, it's completely full of stuff, or full of water, and I pull everything out of it and end up tipping all the water out. So that was the first thing.
So were you running in the water? Because it's about a foot deep, right? It was about
deep. It was like waist deep by the time I got to the place.
So
where it filled up was probably knee deep.
Okay.
And then immediately downriver that, it was about waist deep. So I'm running through waist deep water. And the upside is it was at 5 o'clock. So there was time for stuff to dry out. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I had all my camping stuff in a dry bag. Didn't have the dry bag closed. It didn't get completely soaked, but it was enough where everything was just a little wet.
And it got down to what, 57? Last night.
Down here it was like 62. But the
same difference.
But the
a wet sleeping bag, that's the same difference.
I ended up getting it all dried out on a campfire.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
But that took several hours. Anyway, the wind is what got me.
Yeah.
So I started out with my head facing north, and the wind was like funneled right into my sleeping bag.
Oh, shit.
That lasted about 15 minutes before I flipped around the other direction, where it was better, not good, but better. So that was the first thing. And then the second part of it was I didn't bring any food.
Oh, shoot.
I was planning on catching a channel cat on my way down. Well, that fiasco ended up eating up a bunch of time.
So I can see that.
I was racing to get to where I wanted to go before it got dark. And then I get there, and I have no food.
You're cold. I'm hungry.
Cold, wet, hungry.
Tired.
You feel like a little puppy who's lost his way?
Pretty much. But
just sat on the sandbar and whined.
There's a lot of things I do, but I don't do that.
The most important thing, did you dry out your camp shoes? Did you get them dry?
Yeah.
That's good.
I spent a lot of time. That was
rule number one.
Camp shoes and
I
socks.
have to have dry camp shoes.
Camp shoes and wool socks. Put them right next to that fire first thing.
Oh boy.
But I had a flathead on the bank within 5 minutes of pulling up on the sandbar.
Nice.
Yeah, like I threw threw the bait out, hits the bottom.
Donked him in the head.
Must have, because I reach over to the other rod and I start messing with it and then hear it, don't. And I just get hit and then it starts going bobbing. And here, I mean, I guess you can take from this whatever you want. It was about a 7 or 8 pounder. And I'm like, man, you would be a perfect eater. And I have no food.
You did eat it?
But I didn't eat it because, well, let me explain why. I didn't have a cooler to put it in, so I would have had to eat it all or waste meat. And I wasn't going to waste meat. So I let him go, hoping.
I liked your odds of eating a 7-pounder.
I think
you can put it away.
Yeah, it's not fully 7 pounds.
It would have been
It's
5 pounds of meat.
Yeah, no sides, so I think you could have put
do
it
it, no
down.
sides.
Could I? Yes. Would I enjoy the feeling afterwards? No.
But you're hungry.
And I'm like, I can surely catch a channel cat in like in the shallow water off the sandbar. And that's what I ended up doing. I caught a half-pound channel cat and a 8-inch drum. And that's what I ended up. I filleted the drum. I always call it pan frying, where you take their head off, gut them, and skid them.
Yeah.
And then breaded that and fried both of them. I had tortillas. I had 4 tortillas. So I figured I'd have 2 fish tacos with the drum fillets, and then I'd turn the rest of them into tortilla chips.
Nice.
So I had fish and chips.
It's the first time I ever heard him actually say tortillas. Usually it's
Tortillas.
I never. Well,
I don't know what the heck. I was like, who is this guy?
I say that as kind of a smart ass way of saying it.
He has kind of his own vocab.
Yeah.
He does know how to say the words correctly. He just chooses not to.
See, I feel like there's a certain power in that.
Too funny.
But I ended up getting food. I still had my water. Got everything dried out. Caught fish. But the beginning was pretty rough.
But catching those fish, it probably made everything in a sense worth it. Like, right? I don't know. You tell me. Like, was it worth it? Because you're like, God, all the shit you just went through, and then.
Well, I always fall back on it's gonna make a great story.
That was going to be my question. Did you get good video footage of it?
Well, I got good video footage of. No, not
Not
really.
enough.
Is it gonna make a good video?
Did you get a video out of it?
The beginning of the video will be my kayak full of water. But
so you checked the box. You had a good day at work.
I did.
Yeah.
But the fish, the quality of fishing, I mean, it's important. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just a drop in the bucket for the overall thing. Like I'm an experienced guy. Like, what do I get from the experience? And
not all of them are good.
Well, it depends on good and bad's a matter of perspective too. So I got a good story out of it. I learned I was like, I can handle that. I can handle that without a beer. I wanted a beer. Like, it's like, of all the trips that I'd brought no beer, it had to be this one.
So why'd you switch from a sit on top to a sit in anyway?
I like sit-ins better. You can haul more stuff.
Okay.
You know, and it's nice and tidy. Like, you put stuff in the front, you put stuff in the back, you have the middle open. Whereas a sit on top, I just feel like there's crap sitting out everywhere.
And there is.
Yeah, there is.
That's why they make dry bags. You just pack everything away and pile it high.
Yeah, you definitely would have had more shit floating downriver if you were on a sit on top.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It wouldn't have filled with water, but I just would have been chasing stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if I would have had sit on top, I bet I would have had my dry bag closed.
Life lessons are tough.
Yeah.
Do you think it would make a difference if you were in deeper water?
Oh, it might be dead.
Okay, that's what
Like,
I'm...
for real.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I think I said on the video. I'm glad it was shallow water. I had a life jacket. Yeah. You know, like, I always wear the life jacket.
Yep.
Period.
Same here, same.
End of story. But I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You could pout about it, or you could just keep trucking. You know, I wanted to go from point A to point B, and then also my ride was picking me up at point B, so I had to get there. If I wanted to go
Well, I think it's going to be a good video.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
I hope so.
Looking forward to it.
For sure. Learning experience, right? Because you, like you were saying, like when I kayak, I haven't flipped over it quite yet. Like,
Well, I got some
Like,
good
it's
flipping stories.
Gonna happen. It just hasn't happened.
And I'm just
A matter of time.
but I fished. I never fished on the river really,
Yeah.
ever. Like on the yak. So I've always fished in like lakes or whatever. The case
I've
may
never
be.
flipped in freshwater.
Well, you might run into a situation where you're on a lake and there's some drunk boater guy just buzzes right next to you.
That's one of
and
the
you're not ready.
scariest parts
Yeah.
of lake fishing.
I agree with you
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
You
It's
have
like-
a flag?
Even I don't have a flag.
It's not a bad
Trying to think.
idea.
Even on the lake. I guess you're right.
I mean, if you're
Not a
on
bad idea.
like our 5 mile an hour lakes, it's probably not a big deal. Or no wake lakes. But you go to a big one.
Yeah, a little bit bigger, just in
Yeah.
case. But yeah, I'm like, but you're right on that because when the waves come in after a big boater, like I do get a little bit nervous. Like, oh shit, if I were to fall over, I do have my life vest all the time on me all the time on the yak. But I don't know, man. I just like once you get into the moment, you can't. Can you prepare for it? Can you prepare for when your kayak flip over?
Oh, yeah. You can. But when it happens, you're probably not. Like, my incidents, I wasn't prepared because of the idea of it happening never even popped up in my head. You know, if I'm going through some nasty rapids, I'm ready. You know, game
Yeah.
on. I'm bringing about every paddling skill,
Yeah.
whether consciously or unconsciously. I'm incorporating all of those to make sure I don't flip. And we're in Iowa, so we don't have the nastiest rapids in the world. But we have some stuff that's tougher than most people are aware of.
Yeah. When
And I've never had an issue.
the first couple times I was taking long kayak trips with you, like I'd go down the rapids and I didn't know that you had to paddle through. So I would just kind of enjoy the ride and then
Yeah.
get to the end and it would whip you around a 360. Luckily, I had good enough balance that it didn't send me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, it was like riding bulls again.
I've seen
You
those
come out, you
people.
take a hard left. So yeah, if you're going through the rapids, it's important that you control the boat. You don't let the boat go.
You nailed it.
You have to paddle until you get into the calmer water.
So how does somebody that's like a non-river fishing kayaker, he fishes, you know, just like myself. I've never fished on the river, right? And I fish on lakes. I want to go into the river with you guys real quick. What should I do to prepare myself, like, in case, like, that happens?
The first few times that you take long trips, take as little as possible.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want that weight shifting when you're not used to the weight shifting.
Oh, okay.
And I would say another one is just be aware. Don't relax in situations. Make sure that you are in control of the boat and not let the current control where you go.
And most of the time, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not.
Yeah,
No.
like
No.
the only time you run into problems is when the real time you're going to run into problems is when there's obstructions.
Okay.
Like if you hit a log, depending on how your kayak's positioned, it may be a problem. It may not be, but you don't want to ever get turned sideways, like perpendicular to the current.
Pinned to the log.
That's
Yeah.
what happened to me. I
Okay.
got pinned perpendicular to the current, and that's what pushed that back end down and filled me up. And that could happen in 20 feet of water if you bump into the wrong log. I never wore my life jacket for a couple years. When I started kayaking these rivers. I had one in the boat to be legal, but there was an incident where I got turned I bumped into a log, because usually you bump into a log, you just bounce off of them, and it hit the back third of my kayak. But the most of the weight was in the back third, so even though I thought it was the end and I was just going to bump off, most of the weight's back there, so it's like that's the center of gravity. Well, the current caught me, and this branch had a little bend to it, and it pushed my kayak up on top of it, and then
shit.
water started coming in. And this was a sit-inside kayak, so I instinctively grabbed the branch that I was shoved up on and leaned hard that direction to lift that side of the kayak up. And I had about 6 inches of water in the bottom, thank God no more, and I kind of shimmied myself off of it. But I was immediately upstream of a big strainer, big brush pile, and had that filled up and I get pushed up against that, that's when you have problems. I'm not saying anything bad would have happened, but I'm saying it could have. Yeah. And I immediately went to a sporting goods store after that trip and bought a life jacket, one of those self-inflated ones and I said, I'm going to wear it every single time.
For sure.
So, and I've worn it every single time ever since then.
And even if a physical danger didn't happen there, you could have lost everything you have in there. You know,
yeah.
You know, $1,000 or even with your equipment, thousands of dollars of dollars just underneath a log jam somewhere where you'll never get it back.
Well, I've seen a handful of people flip. I bet I've seen thousands of dollars of equipment lost.
Well, Corey alone.
Corey, shout out to Corey. Shout out to Corey. I hope you listen to this, Corey.
He's a tournament bass guy. His combos are worth more than my car.
He's at a tournament right now.
Yeah,
Is he really?
He's out there right now.
All right, man. Hey, good luck to you, Corey.
That's right.
Maybe we'll get you back on right after this so that we can see how you
yeah,
do in the
after
tournament.
you bring home a victory, everybody's going to want to talk to you.
That's true.
Yeah, how'd you flip over, Corey? Those guys are talking shit about you, Corey.
So Corey's not the only one I've seen do that. Just for the record.
Yeah.
I think there's been 3 other people I've seen flip and lose a pile of stuff.
Yeah.
That's over the course of 12 years of kayaking a lot. Yeah.
With a lot of inexperienced people that, because you usually have more than one kayak, and a lot of people that are interested in it back years ago, you're like, sure, come along. It's going to suck. Yeah. I'm going to take you on one of the worst adventures you've ever found in your life.
Well,
but here we go.
That trip is when I found out how tough Corey is.
Yeah.
Like you can say anything you want about Corey, you can't say he ain't tough.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he flipped his kayak, lost his phone, everything got wet, lost 2 or 3 combos. One of them was really expensive, and then lost his smokes. So he was like nicotine deprived. So he's wet, lost a bunch of stuff, nicotine deprived, still stuck it out till the next day.
Well, Kit has a
I've
good
seen
story.
it firsthand. We were kayaking a lake in December.
Oh, he went in after that one.
December.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there. I saw it happen.
Did you see
live.
the fish that he claims is like 12 pounds?
No, he did not land the fish.
No, I know he didn't, but I didn't know if you saw,
No,
if
I
you were
did
close
not
enough to
see
see the fish.
He actually, when I was coming up to him, he flipped over the opposite direction. So
Okay.
I did not see the fish. I was like, holy shit. So he lost his Vexilar, a couple rods. Who knows what else he lost.
Right.
Probably some tackle. And he just got back in, started fishing right away. 10 minutes later, he's pulling out fish. This guy is a freaking trooper.
That's what I'm saying. He's tougher than nails, man.
December.
Yeah, December.
Yeah.
Imagine how cold that
40.
day was.
It was 40s. The water was well, it might have been like 38.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah,
Jeez.
I think it was high 30s. Granted, the air temp. Well, that doesn't matter if you're soaking wet.
Because
No,
and
no,
it's a
absolutely
balmy 55
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this unseasonably warm December day.
Yeah,
With only a north breeze of 8, so it's just enough to chill you right to the bone.
yeah, like holy shit, Corey, that guy, he's tough.
But he goes, I tested out the suit, the Norfin suit. He goes, Norfin suit's pretty good, guys. I survived it. I'm like, shit, dude. That's
Him and his big brain, like, how can I turn this around and do like a little
Yeah.
promotional piece?
It was funny though, because we had it on the podcast. He's talking about like, but Dan, that Norfin suit kept me alive. I'm like,
It might have.
It probably did.
might have.
I think it did.
But I was
Because he
just-
wasn't wearing a life jacket. He just had the suit on.
But truthfully, that guy never sleeps, so that was probably good. It probably got him energized and woke back up. It's like taking a shower in the
Like,
morning.
man, I
he
feel
was ready
alive.
Oh, God. Too funny, dude. But yeah, I would have to say that's probably one of in the back of my mind that I'm always concerned about. That's why I haven't kayaked the river. I am nervous. Like, if that happened, because
The best time to do it would be now when it's low.
Or the worst.
Do you really want to test it? That's that's my thoughts too.
We'll break it down. It's not that big of a deal. There are
Yeah.
different concerns on a river than there are on a lake. You just got to be cognizant of them. And if you're aware of what to look for, which you'll get better and better through the more experience you have,
For sure.
the better it's going to be. But I mean, there's a bunch of drunk assholes that float down it every weekend, and
Yeah.
people, it's and they do fine.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather deal with a log jam than a 60-mile-an-hour boat. I'd rather
Agreed.
be on the river than a lake any day.
yeah, and even our rivers at flood stage, they're flowing like 4 miles an hour, and they're blowing out and big and wide, and you have plenty of time to look for obstructions and stuff. And
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
most of the obstructions are 3 foot below you.
exactly,
You go right over the top.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying anyone should kayak them at flood stage, but what I'm saying is, even at their worst, they're not so bad.
Gotcha.
And it concentrates the big fish, so I would kayak
does.
at flood,
It does.
at
Yeah.
flood stage.
It's nice.
So it's changing subjects a little bit. It's coming down to fall. Are you guys a little bit antsy to try and ice fish? I know, Ryan, you're not.
No.
Come on.
I'll be out there. I
Okay.
definitely will be. Yeah.
So,
I'm sure I'll go 2 to 4 times.
all right.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that
Is
range.
But you're leaving February or January?
January 6th or 7th
Dang, and how long are you going to be gone for again?
till February like 25th.
Okay, so we can reconvene with each other. We should still have ice by then.
You
right?
might be able to get a couple trips in before you leave. Actually,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
If we're
guessing.
lucky.
That,
If we're
was-
lucky.
that was
So-
last year. I went, I think, 3 times before I left.
Have you caught your wiper yet through the ice?
Shut up.
Okay. So, I was trying to be nice. I was trying to say,
You just opened a scab. Just picked open a scab.
Fishing Kit and myself are trying to heal that scab. So we're trying
I'm
to see
pretty
if,
good at watching kit reel.
But I think as long as I don't think we gave away our spot from last year.
No, I try to never give away the spot.
Yeah, and I don't think on the videos I put, I don't think anybody could tell where we were at.
Yeah.
And we were
I knew where you're at.
yes. You sure?
No, I'm just messing.
I'm like, damn, man, you know, like, goddamn, I suck. But
You can hide stuff ice fishing that you can't hide open water.
Because most of the videos that we posted, I think we were just inside the hub. So
You
they-
can do
Yeah.
that, or I mean, okay, the background is trees covered in snow.
Exactly.
Just like everywhere else.
So I think we have a spot as long as it. I don't think it got blown up like you're saying. I think it's pretty non-pressure-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pressure-ish. Not pressure-ish.
well, the
But with
time
wipers, they just
Yes.
they don't stop.
Yeah.
They just
that's-
go.
So
But they do concentrate in certain areas.
Yeah.
So we have the spot. We would like to take both of you guys. I think we should do this like a mini trip, whether it's before you leave or after. I think it's a high possibility we can finally get that monkey off your back.
Oh, if anybody else screw it up, it'll be me.
Well, it'll only be just that much fun.
Dude,
Right?
I don't know what it is with them being in cold water, like teasing wipers up off the bottom and getting them to eat the bait. I've struggled with that in cold water.
and they do not move that much as far as vertically. They do not move very far.
I agree.
Oh,
They don't at
So
all.
that's probably why I had problems teasing them
I think
up.
most of them are they. Have you always caught your wipers on through the ice
Always
to the
tight
bottom?
to the bottom.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
raise them
Yeah.
up a foot or two. If you didn't catch them at that point, that's it. They're
Drop
done.
it back down.
I
Yeah,
agree.
drop it back
I
down.
agree
Yeah.
with you.
Okay, it's good to know. But because the same pattern kind of applies in open water right before it freezes up, too.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
That's what I was when me and Corey were out. We were just catching them tight on the bottom.
Well, my hope is I should be able to put my boat in the garage within the next 3 weeks.
okay.
And it's a heated garage, and I will not have to winterize it for a while. So I can
Yeah.
get my boat out on that lake and my live scope out on that lake and hopefully be able to jig up some hybrids.
Okay.
Well, speaking of ice fishing and trips, are you going to do any? I know you're not going to do any ice trips as far as guiding.
God, I hope not.
Are you doing ice trips, Ryan?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love to. I've got it'll be a weekend thing if I do, and then I got my daughter every other weekend, so it'll be a limited schedule this year, and then but I'd love to get out and run a half dozen trips at least this winter. And
Tasler's Guide Service.
There we
Your,
go.
your crappie connection right over here.
I've got a pretty good crappie perch spot.
Oh, perch even.
Yeah, limited walleye spot. It's all kind of the same lake. I've kind of got a small section of a pretty decent lake dialed in, and
And I got some
I'd like to
info
find
that
some.
I'm going to pass along that is not in his particular section, but you'll appreciate.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
And
So now we're gonna run 8 trips. No.
and if you're anyone like me who's, I appreciate and enjoy ice fishing to a degree, but then it gets to a point where it feels like work because you're hauling all that crap around.
And you're done with it.
And I'll
you're
do the
done.
work, and you just get to enjoy it.
Right. But
Not a problem.
if you don't want to do either of those, you can get a hold of me and go to Florida during the winter. And I think I have 7 or 8 spots open as of right now.
So you come guide with me. I'll let them catch all the crappie. They'll take them to Florida, and you'll turn them into blue cat.
Oh, that'd be all right.
We'll use all the crappie
Can
for
you
bait.
mail them to me?
No, they'll bring them down. The same people will
Oh,
stop.
that'll be
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Spencer, FYI, that I know you're thinking that's the wiper spot that you think we were ice fishing.
I have no idea where you were. I'm just screwing
That's
with
why
you.
I can't wait to take you there.
Oh.
Because I think I'm going to get you on one this year.
It's one of 2 places.
If he can catch it,
If I can catch one.
if he
Guys,
can do it,
If I can do
you've
it.
got multiple.
Yes.
You got to get a chance.
I'm
Yes.
gonna once the podcast is over, we're gonna play a game and see if I can guess the right
Okay.
spot.
We'll do that. We'll do that. And if it- yeah, we'll
All
do
right,
that.
Speaking of Florida, I know you recently moved. I'm surprised you did not move like away from here. I thought
No one's more surprised than me, but
I was like, wait, this guy moved and he's still in Iowa?
it wasn't.
It was a community decision.
It was a community decision, and by that I mean it was one person's decision, and it was not me.
Fishing kid doesn't understand.
Yeah,
This is the
Yeah.
you should know
I'm
by
just
now,
thinking,
man.
instead of being a songbird, why doesn't he just go to where he's gonna?
I'm with you.
I figured you'd be down in
I'm
Florida.
with you too.
See, we're always with
I
you.
think it sounds
I agree with you.
very logical.
but it'd have been more of a Tennessee, Alabama area,
a
maybe.
place where you could just fish year round instead of having to travel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just not
and
Iowa.
You
Right.
could catch an 80-pound flathead or a 100-pound blue any single day.
That's why
like it could happen.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
No, you guys are right.
So because I'm
But then reality kicks in.
because I'm still in Iowa and I don't want to run ice fishing trips in the winter. I chose Florida for a handful of reasons. It's the Apalachicola River, and that body of water has a pile of blue cats. Most of them
Big
are
ones.
in the. Well, I mean, they're not huge. You're probably not going to get 100. You could get an 80.
But you've got several 50s, 60s.
No, the biggest ones I've caught were between the 40 to 45 pound range,
Really?
which are good
You
ones.
make them look big.
Yeah, thank you.
You do have that talent of making a.
Is that the editing skills, or are you just
No.
that good?
I just know how to hold them. Yeah.
You got to know how to hold 'em.
Yes.
Kenny Rogers.
Very good.
I know. Hey, that's my dad's favorite song.
But
It was.
most of them are like 10 to 20 pounds, which are fun. And then you have ocean run striped bass, which it is one of the few rivers that dump into the Gulf that have ocean run striped bass.
Are they just mean?
Oh, dude.
I could imagine they're just mean.
And you can catch. So I run heavy rods for when you're targeting the bigger blue cats, and then I have the catfish Whisker Seeker catfish and carp spinning rods, which are basically medium light spinning rods spooled up with 30-pound braid, and I run 20-pound leaders, and I'll put little chunks of cut bait out on those. You'll catch smaller blue cats, but I landed them up to I think 29 pounds was the biggest one on catfish and carp rod
I
last
bet
week.
that was blast.
It was fun. Well, I didn't catch it. I guess a client reeled it in. But it was fun to watch. And then, but then you'll pick up the stripers and wipers doing that too.
Oh, it sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. And there's just so much life in that river. And we caught stripers, wipers, blue cats, flatheads, bowfin, long-nosed gar, largemouth bass. That might be it.
So this is you do this around January-ish.
January, so I'll be running trips from my first available date's like the end of January till the end of February. But yeah, just shoot me an email, Spencer@rivercertified.com, and I can book you a trip down there if you want to head south for the winter.
Well, the reason why I asked, because whether I book this year, maybe next year, maybe the kids can go see Florida a little bit, during the winter.
Yeah.
It's a different Florida where I'm at. I'm in the Panhandle by Chattahoochee.
Okay.
And it is like it's right on the Florida-Georgia line, not the band.
They broke up, didn't they?
I hope so.
Deuce country, dude.
That's not country.
Love it.
But it's if you feel like you're in the middle of freaking nowhere. Like the closest Walmart's over an hour away.
So this is a boys trip if I were to do it.
Yeah,
That's what you're trying to tell me.
there's
You
no-
don't want the kids and
that's
wife
what-
in that area.
Gotta ask.
I mean, unless they want to tour the state penitentiary about 2 miles away from the boat launch.
Yeah, we good.
Because Ella came down and visited you last year. for
And
a little
we
bit.
did not hang out there at all. We went to the coast.
She's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm over it.
I'm out. Hour in, I was like, we got to go somewhere.
But an hour and a half south of there, you get to the coast. There's East Point. There's St. George Island, which is a pretty cool area. And then my favorite's Apalachicola, just the town. The river dumps into the Gulf right there. The river that I'm fishing up north.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a cool little area. Like it's got a cool little square downtown area. And then
I forgot.
a bunch of shops and a bunch of stuff to do. Cool breweries. Like, there's just a lot of good stuff going on in Apalachicola, Florida.
Well, I might just do this, man. My birthday is in summer. I'd be like, you know what? Love you, honey. But maybe I can just request a trip that we take a boys trip to Florida with Spencer in the winter.
There you go.
Like I put everything on hold
Yeah.
on the summer. Like, yeah, you know how to celebrate.
And then
this.
she's got 6 months to get used to the idea
Yeah, it's
that
like,
you're
hey,
going to
honey,
be gone
I'm gonna be
week.
gone for about a
Yeah.
week.
Just book it and then worry about the rest later.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
whoa,
What could go
hold
wrong
on,
there?
no.
What could go...
Coming from the single guy. Whoa. You can't quite do that.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Is that
True.
good?
I agree with you.
Doesn't sound like it.
But
it, man,
that forgiveness
yeah.
part may be running a little
the
light.
timing, it could be a little rough, man. I'm not gonna lie, but I think I might. You know what? We might do that next year. You down for it? Next year. Can't do it this year. I got too many things going to
Next
Denver.
year, as in
Next winter.
2023 or 2024?
Well, it's 20.
Because he's going down next year, technically.
Yeah. So he'll be down
Do
in
you go down
2023.
every winter?
Well, this will be the second. So how do you want to define every winter? So every winter that I haven't been teaching, I've went down there.
So the
So
next
2 out of the 2 years.
yeah,
That's 100. Well, we're
every year.
We're 100%.
And
So
I
if-
plan on going every year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if he plans on going every year, so it would be 2024.
Wow. That's far.
Not really. It's 2022. Almost the end of 2022, in a sense.
Yeah, we got 4 months left.
Yeah.
We got a third of a year, so
Yeah.
1 1/3 years away.
But I have to ask because my birthday's in July, so I have to prep. She don't listen to shit.
Well, if you book it,
Don't worry about it, guys.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah,
It'll be a
book
surprise.
it.
if you book it now, she'll have a year and a third to think
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
what I'm saying. So she'd be like, because at the moment she'll be like, yeah, year and a half. Go ahead, man. Go spend a week in coldness wherever you're gonna go. I'm not gonna tell her where we're gonna go. Well,
Yeah.
I probably should.
It's not that warm. Like any
Really?
day is usually 55 to 75 for high.
Oh, that's perfect for
Wasn't
a fat
it
ass like me,
warmer
dude.
up here when you came back?
Perfect.
The week I came back, it was 5 degrees warmer in Iowa than it was when I left
You
Florida.
didn't say that. You're like, what the hell?
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was
But the
weird.
walleyes are biting, so I was like, yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
But-
it was a good welcome.
Maybe I'll do that though. We'll do that. Let's just go, man. We'll go to Florida, hang out with
Yeah,
Spencer.
I've
a
never
little
been
bit.
to Florida.
So if
See?
you're gonna do it, do a week. Book.
For sure.
My buddy runs a shore-based shark fishing charter called the A.K.A. Fishing, and you can book a trip with him, and he'll take you shark fishing too off the beach.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny that it's called the A.K.A. and now he just got a drone for running his baits.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna have to rebrand there, Chris.
Drone him out. Drone him out.
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
But it should be fun. We'll do it.
Yeah, there's a couple people that book trips with me that also book a trip with him, and they just turn it into like a 4 to 7 day trip.
For sure. You got anything else for these guys?
So yesterday it was 90 degrees,
Yep.
and I think this is our first cold front of the season.
It's the first day I've worn like pants, not instead of shorts, since May.
Oh, dude, I hate wearing jeans. I can't.
I'm a
stand
shorts
jeans.
guy.
Yeah.
I prefer shorts.
A lot of my work is like up in attics or crawl spaces where a guy should wear jeans, and I still refuse to. Screw that. I boycott jeans as much as possible.
Anyways, my question is, are you guys excited for fall fishing? And beyond that, what is your favorite season to go fishing in?
This is my favorite season.
This is your favorite?
Yeah, I love fall. Like, I love heat, don't get me wrong, but the end of September through October and then a little bit in November, like, granted, there's a lot of fronts and weather events that seem to happen, but the fishing can be lights out. There's no bugs, and it's just really pleasant temps to be out. Professional over here.
Don't bump the mic.
I just bumped the mic. Crazy.
Those Trulies are pretty heavy.
I ain't gonna lie.
5%. They're more than Busch
5%.
Lights.
0.8% higher.
I'm kind of not looking forward to the end of Flathead season because I just got started with my guide business. I got a late start this year because, like I said, it literally just evolved overnight. So
That was crazy. I was just like, bam, Ryan's got a boat. Guess I'll start telling people he can run trips.
So I'm really not prepared for it to end because I've been having a blast and we've been having some good fish in the boat. So I've got one more trip.
Yeah, your biggest client fish is only 10 pounds lighter than mine. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
So
You're not even going to throw me a good comeback? Now I feel bad. Now I just feel like an asshole.
But yes,
Like,
I agree.
So, fishing camp myself, at least I would say myself is slowly jumping into this flathead realm this summer.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is the first year we slowly targeted.
I guess specifically, yeah.
Yeah, specifically. What would be your guys' recommendation for somebody who's just like slowly jumping into
I got
chasing
this.
it?
I got
I mean,
this.
what should we do?
See
what-
that wooden thing right there?
This thing.
Yeah, like hit your head against it 5 times as hard as you can. and if that doesn't bother you, then you can probably go flathead fishing.
Oh boy, is it?
It's an exercise in frustration at times.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You gotta have patience because you can be in the best spot with
And
the best bait.
perseverance too. Like,
Yeah.
on top of that.
Is it just because it's Iowa that it's hard to find, or is it just
No.
because
No.
of flatheads in general?
Yes.
Like
Okay.
even I talk.
Apex predators in general.
Well, I say so
okay.
many good
Yeah.
things about Tennessee, but like most of them guys down there don't actively target flatheads. They're just fishing for catfish.
Yes.
They're throwing big chunks of bait,
And you catch 100-pound blues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
They're-
some
yeah.
some days they get the big blues, some days they get big flatheads. But to just like if you're just targeting flatheads, and that's what we do because that's what we have.
Yes.
I mean it's tough to stay on them consistently.
Okay.
I mean, lots of people catch them randomly every once in a while.
Yeah.
Doing this, that,
Especially
or the other.
lately when it's low water and you could throw out a bait in the right spot. And,
Yeah.
You know.
But it's
So
the
don't
biggest-
get frustrated and be patient.
just enjoy the whole thing. Like the
Okay.
fact that it's difficult makes it so much sweeter when it actually happens.
Yes.
okay.
That'd be my biggest like thing of it all is what's all that noise?
Rain.
I think it's
Hail.
yeah. I
Rain
just
and hail,
noticed that
guys.
too.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a storm here. Just go Hawks, baby.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yes.
so everybody's listening to this. This is High Hawk week, and this is High Hawk game day.
Yeah.
technically. So
What's Cyhawk?
Cyclones,
Cyclones,
Hawkeyes.
Cyclones.
Hawkeyes.
We had to put little brother a little bit ahead of us. So Cy Hawk. So Iowa State Cyclones versus Iowa Hawkeyes is kind of a big deal here in Iowa.
Second week of the college season every year.
Yeah, and
We do not have national teams.
professional teams.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
football.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of why it's such a big deal.
For
in
sure.
Iowa.
But it's not a big
Yeah.
deal anywhere else. You know? Like,
No.
and that's for sure too.
No, it's not like a Florida
No.
State rival or
Yeah.
something like that.
Unless
It's
it's-
the Cyhawk.
Yeah, for Iowa though, you know that's why you gotta embrace it. If you live here, you born and raised, wherever the case may be, you live in Iowa, you have to embrace it because nowhere else cares, gives a shit.
Absolutely
in reality.
right.
But
And it's
with
one of the
especially on years like this.
It's one of the
Yes.
funnest rivals
Oh.
that you and your buddies can give each other shit about and then drink beer together and don't care.
yes,
You know, it's
Except-
nobody takes it personal
well, some
for the most part.
some take it to. I mean,
All right,
there's a cra-
Grandy, I got a question
Yes,
for
sir.
you. I'm asking you, what type of Hawkeye fan are you? So there's a lot of different fans. Some I would categorize, and I'm talking about the Iowa State rivalry. I categorize myself as a Hawkeye fan who always cheers on the Hawkeyes
Okay.
and always cheers on Iowa State, except when they play the Hawkeyes. I don't feel like, well, I'll let you answer the question.
I'm 1,000% with you, and the reason being is because I went to Iowa State,
Okay.
but I went to Iowa State because my friends could know this. I was a Hawkeye fan. Born and raised. I was that cat
I
up
stuck
in
out.
Ames.
I stuck
and I
out.
stuck out. But
You weren't alone. I'm sure there's others like you.
I'm guaranteed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I think it's great for the state of Iowa when Iowa both teams do
Yep.
well.
Yes.
So my thoughts are, when we come together, when they play each other, of course I'm gonna root for the Hawkeyes. Other than that, I root for both teams.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's quite a bit, there's a lot of Hawkeyes fans like that. Not a lot of Cyclones fans like that.
Because they've always been considered the little brother.
Yeah.
And that's why. And
Got a complex a little bit.
It's the little boy complex. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I get that, guys. I understand that.
I almost feel bad talking trash about Iowa State fans when there's no Iowa State fan here to defend themselves.
I know. Tom.
But then I
Oh, Tom's got an Iowa State shirt on right now.
hopefully,
but I just got over it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But hopefully one day, because if Iowa State one day ever beats Iowa, I mean, it's been, 6-7 years now.
Longer than that.
I wouldn't be
6-7.
surprised if it happens today. To be
I
honest.
wouldn't
I
either.
agree.
Me either.
I wouldn't either with the way Iowa represents their offense is offensive. But if, you know what, I don't know, I'm going to have to talk to Tom. I think we have a bet here. I might have to wear something red if they win.
Bet a reel. He's got a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
I could get him on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
possibly.
and you
We'll
could
see.
go to Walmart and grab a Zepco and just bring it on.
That would be funny as hell.
A reel of your choice.
I think of the Cyhawk series kind of like me and my twin brother. If I've got a twin brother, and it doesn't matter if we're playing checkers. I will cheat to frickin' win against my brother at checkers. But if anybody else is versing him, I'm on his back the whole frickin' way.
It is,
you know what I mean?
It is funny because, like, I knew you for a long time before I ever met your brother.
Yeah.
And to see you and your brother interact, that's a totally different side of you that you don't, that isn't just out there unless Rick's around. And I enjoy it. You get a little more fiery.
Well, he kind of needs to be kept into place.
Who's older?
He is by 3 minutes. I
Okay,
couldn't take
that's what I
him
was
any
wondering.
longer. I had to kick him out.
So he's older by 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Is he into the outdoor stuff or
Yes.
no? He
yeah.
is? Okay.
Yeah, he's a chief of police in a small town just north
Here?
east of here.
Yeah.
Northeast
Yeah.
of here a little bit.
He's
But,
also chief bullshit. He is
Yes,
full
he is.
of it.
But he owns 2 MMA promotions, so he runs
Oh, nice.
mixed martial arts promotions. But his love is still the fishing aspect. He goes on quite a few fishing trips and things like that. So
He's got a sweet rig, too.
he does.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Totally off topic.
You ever go into town and like, hey, Rick, yeah, man, hey, Rick.
Dare you to
When
pull me over.
When I was young,
There.
I was probably, I'm not even sure I was drinking age, but I was drunk off my ass. And it was New Year's Eve. And my brother's always had drag cars. Like, he likes really fast cars. And I got this great idea. I was going to go back to my parents' house and grab his drag car and then run it through the town that he was in the cop in.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
He's
I mean, I wasn't an idiot about it. Like, I didn't disturb everything. I just let him know I was there. And then I took it back home, put it away. No.
pretty sure he wasn't happy.
He was not. It's a little tension to this day, and that was 20-some years ago.
Wow.
We might have to get him on one day. Just
He's pretty good shit.
that'd
And
be
he
funny.
doesn't shut up, so he's a good podcast.
Oh, he's ideal. I love having Rick on.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's pretty good shit.
Yeah.
Is he? How is he fishing?
He is a destination fisherman. He doesn't
okay.
fish a whole lot locally.
Okay.
He likes to go to Lake Erie. He likes to go to the Red River. He likes to get out and just plan a week and go fishing.
Ice fish or open water?
Both.
Okay.
He loves ice fishing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's
He-
the better fisherman?
Ooh.
He doesn't stand a chance. There's not a single thing that.
I can't weigh in. I've never seen Rick fish.
Well, like he goes to Lake Erie, and Lake Erie is you get your boat in the train of the other boats, and then you catch 25 walleye, and then you go get drunk. That's Lake Erie fishing.
All right.
Yeah,
not so bad.
it's so easy. It's ridiculous. It's like, okay, how many 30 inchers did you catch today? That's how you judge what type of day it was.
We might have to do like
It's
a
crazy.
Tasler challenge or something. That'd be
Oh, yeah. I'm up.
Who's the
I'm
better
up.
Tasler?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be kind of fun, dude.
I'm up. Well, if we go the best Tasler, we'd probably have like 15 qualified applicants.
That's
we would have to have a fish off.
you got a pile of siblings.
And most of them really enjoy the outdoors, so.
See, we'll let them duke it out, and then I'll be like the boss in the video game. Like they have to win all these levels to get to me, and then I just
my
school
goodness.
everybody.
And then I mace him and walk away with the trophy.
Did you get asked to do the Iowa 24 by chance?
I had plans leading up to it,
Okay.
and ironically, both the weekends that were brought up, it was I don't remember what the first trip was, but the second one was when me and my brother went and fished the big rivers.
Would you be interested next year to try it with us?
Maybe.
It was.
This guy's a busy guy.
I know. We'll see if we can schedule him
It's
in.
the guiding thing that chews up a
Yeah.
pile of time, because like.
No.
So I guide 3 days a week, then I got to fish 2 to
Damn.
3 myself to get 2 videos with the flathead fishing. You know,
Very
like the reality is
true.
it's 2, lots of times 3 nights to get 2 videos flathead fishing, and then I got to edit them. Then
So-
I got to spend time with my wife.
You
and
think?
stuff.
But this is the one thing that I think I want to give you props for, because I think this was the first time that Fishing Kid and myself ever fished 24 straight hours and we slept on a boat. We never slept on a boat. It was the very first time. We're like, man, you guys make it look, that shit looks so easy.
I can sleep anywhere. It's
I can't
valuable.
too. That is one of my tools I bring to the table.
Yeah.
Is I could fall asleep right here, right
Well,
now.
we weren't sure. We're like, this is our first time ever. We're like, holy shit, we're gonna sleep on a boat. We're like, it was like crazy.
Well, I ain't
kinda-
gonna lie, for me, after being up 20 hours, it's pretty easy to fall asleep on a
You
boat.
just crack.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did have to nudge him pretty hard. Oh, you guys will see. I did have to nudge him pretty. Hey, let's go. It's morning time.
Holy shit,
sun's
the
up,
sun's-
bro. Yeah,
the sun's
sun's up,
coming
bro.
up.
We got a competition. Let's go, bro. I had to nudge him up pretty hard. I don't think I recorded that part, but it was kind of. I should have.
You should
I was
have.
like, get up, man. Let's go. We got fish.
That type of stuff's my favorite stuff. Like, there's a bajillion videos of people catching fish, but
True.
when you include those things along with it, that's what makes the good stories.
Yeah.
My favorite stories, anyway. Can't speak for everybody.
I like those two though. I think that's the. I wouldn't say it's behind the scenes, but it's real life, man. It's
Yeah,
just the
it
real.
is.
That's
This
the
is
realism.
how we got there.
Yeah.
Like my trip yesterday, caught some good fish, but they're not the highlight of the trip. You know, as far as the
Yeah,
storytelling
focus
goes.
point. Yeah.
Like in 3 years, I'm not gonna remember those fish, but I'm gonna remember all the bullshit
Getting
I had
swamped,
to deal
yeah.
with.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, back to fish. They're sleeping on the boat. I enjoy it so much. I
I'm
mean, you're
with you.
out there underneath the stars. You know, it's nice and cool usually.
Yeah.
Even when it gets super hot outside, once that sun goes down, there's usually a slight breeze, or it's
Well,
nice
you
and
get
cool.
used to the heat, so if it's 90 during the day and then it drops to like
to
68
77,
at night,
yeah, or it's still that temperature change makes a big difference.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah, once it
it's
hit,
kind of cool.
once it hit like 2 or 3 in the morning, oh, holy shit, it's kind of chilly.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if you hit the dew point and everything gets wet.
Oh,
if
I
you
hate
don't
that.
if you don't have a good sleeping bag that's waterproof, it kind of sucks.
Hey, shout out to my wife. We were about to go out there, no sleeping bag, nothing. Me and Kate were just like, man,
We got this.
It's 90 degrees today.
yeah. It was, so
Who
my wife,
cares?
she literally, before I packed up and left to do this challenge, she goes, all right, get your sleeping bags. I go, what the hell? What do you need sleeping bags for? She goes, you guys gonna stay on the boat all night? And I go, I think so. She goes, grab the sleeping bags now. I go, fine. What? I was literally like, whatever. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it's just gonna be in the way. Yeah.
It's gonna be in the way. It's just more package shit I gotta bring.
Yeah.
So we brought it. Me and Kid look at each other at the night where you're like, shit. It was good.
I did not bring pants.
See?
Yeah.
He did.
And-
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
brought. Yeah. She Dude, shout out to my wife. She doesn't listen to shit, but she goes pack everything. She gave me hoodies. She gave me pants. She gave us all this stuff.
Oh, she gave you pants. Yeah. I didn't have.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Pants.
But you got the sleeping bag.
The sleeping bag was a lifesaver for sure.
It was.
And that falls into the category of you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you've never done
really
it.
True.
We would have known that night. This sucks. I would never want to do this shit again.
And it would always stay with you. Yes.
It would have had.
Yeah.
But luckily, my wife was a little smarter than me. Than for us just to go fishing on the lake. And
I'm fancy. I got that dry bag that got a little wet that I was talking about.
The dryish bag.
The dryish bag.
Dryish bag.
I always have a cot that fits in there. I have an inflatable sleeping pad that I put on the cot clutch, and then a sleeping bag, 2 camp pillows, rain gear, an extra hoodie, and a sleeping bag liner, that keeps things even more warm, and then a bug net, and teepee, and a lighter and fire starters. Like those things live in there.
That's the essential bag.
That is in the bag. Oh, now that we're thinking about it more, camp shoes.
What's camp shoes?
How big is this bag?
I know shit.
It's
camp
pretty
shoes
compact.
are when you have a complex that you cannot have wet feet. Most people
Don't
just
they teach
deal
that
with
stuff in the armed forces?
We're not in a situation that is survival related.
No, but
we're overnighting it,
but
trying to catch a flathead.
But it's not a bad idea.
No, but you're just kind of a Nancy about it.
Well,
wet feet is awful.
Wet feet sucks. Sleeping with wet feet sucks even more. And so I make sure I have dry camp shoes and wool socks, because even in the summer it gets cold.
It does.
So
it does.
Yeah.
Like we said, 20
You're
degrees.
like, I was gonna go camping without a sleeping bag. What the hell do you know, Granny?
You're right. See, that's the thing, though. I need to knock some sense into me.
Yeah.
Once you realize, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
You're right.
And all of this fits in an 80-liter dry bag.
Wow.
That I can literally, it's always packed. I grab and go.
But you think of the people that are moving west and settling unexplored areas. Think of what they went through when we have everything at our disposal.
How'd you get here, Ryan? You take your horse-drawn buggy down here? Didn't think so. You drove a freaking gas-powered truck
with my flip-flops.
That's right.
that do go 4-wheel drive. They get muddy as hell, and I still got them on.
I like to think I'm back in the settling era.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure these flip-flops came on the Mayflower. They're settling shoes.
So moral of the story is, all of my stuff takes up no room, so I bring it all.
But how many times have you changed your equipment to get to where you are now?
Oh, piles.
A pile, yes.
But in the last 2 years, it hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, because there's no need.
I feel like it's pretty dialed. And the only times I regret my life are when something is missing from that for one reason or another.
Or you swamp your kayak.
Or I swamp my kayak. Thankfully, I had fire starters and a lighter, and they didn't get wet, and I was able to make a fire and drive.
Even if they did.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if it got wet, right?
Yeah. The fire starters would have been good, but the lighter, that was the main concern, The Bigfoot Bushcraft fire starters. Promo code Spencer Bauer. Save yourself 10%. But they're genuinely badass.
They are. If you want to catch anything on fire, that's the way to go.
Yeah, I suck at making fires, and they make it easy. Like last night, I pulled it apart, set it on the ground, put 2 sticks parallel to each other, and lined some sticks over the top. Put the fire starter under it, lit it on fire, walked away.
No shit.
Yeah, no tinder, no nothing, just good to go.
Huh.
He's started fire out of slush before.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I swished the fire starter in them, just to test it all out, and it lit up immediately with wet wood. It was wet, the fire starter's wet, the wood was wet.
Okay.
Speaking of wet, noise. Yeah, it's raining on it.
It is raining. It's probably a torrential downpour outside.
And we're in this little cubby hole and have no clue. We'll open that door and the whole rest of the shop's gone.
Because I'm drinking salsa. It's why is it so loud all of a sudden?
Is there something a little extra in that
right?
Kid's like, we're gonna have a good show. I spike these.
The moral of the story is, like, camping stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you get used. If you're going to be out there as much as me, or even if you're not, like, you can get some ultra compact things and still be super comfortable.
Yeah.
For sure.
And those are all the keys to me being comfortable.
Yeah, and after you've done it for a while, you kind of figure out what do you need, what you don't need.
Yes.
I think a lot of the learning process, when you're first starting to get into it, you bring a whole bunch of shit that
Yep.
you don't need.
Some people, or maybe like you
Or, you
don't
don't bring it up.
Right. Sure
Both
could,
are learning curves.
Sure could go for some pants right now.
Yeah.
He was, dude.
I bet.
You didn't have no pants that night.
But that's the thing with the rain stuff. Like, it keeps you dry if it rains, but it's also a pair of pants.
Yeah. That blocks the wind well, you know, things like that.
And you tuck your wool sock, or tuck them into your wool socks, and they're warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a system.
Yeah. Well, my excuse is that day we were on tight. The go time was 3:00.
I get that.
And I had to work. that day. So
Oh, yeah, this was some
if
shit.
I wasn't
worked
ready the
too.
night before, I
know.
definitely was not ready at 1 p.m. that afternoon.
Dude, trust me, I know, dude. This is a challenge that me and you, we got all kinds of shit going on in life. It was so funny, but we just did it because it was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was like we need a boat.
And we'll support them, and then we had to go get a boat.
Yeah, we need a boat.
We never used a boat.
I've never lost a boat.
You didn't
in my
use it?
Oh,
We didn't use a boat, but
Spencer.
Well, you said you slept in a boat, so you used it.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah, but it
we
wasn't theirs.
never ever
Yeah.
used it.
Oh, you backed up my boat trailer?
Well,
yeah, but not the boat itself. though.
alone.
Well, whether a boat's on it or not, it still functions the same.
Yeah, well, this is a 2-stroke motor boat. I never started a boat. I mean, 4-stroke, whatever. Turn the key, it turns on.
Well, that's how 2-strokes are too.
The
Not
good
this one.
Well, you had
Not
to
this one.
choke it.
I had to choke it, and then there was
Love you,
this
Saki,
lever.
but it
So
wasn't
there was another step.
Yeah, there's this lever
So
thing.
instead of one step, it was 2 steps, and you're like, that's way too
Oh,
many.
here we
Yeah.
go.
Oh, choke, turn the key. Okay, this
You
is.
had your hold your
this
tongue to
isn't
the
starting.
left a little bit while
some
standing
of
on the
them,
right
but some
foot.
of them, it's like that.
But you have to understand, man. These two cats have never ever
I
fished
get
on a
it.
boat by
Well,
themselves. They're
and-
like, oh shit, is this shit gonna start?
Well, and then it's complicated too, because it's your buddy's boat. Because it was Sean's,
Yeah.
right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that was Sean's boat.
So it's your buddy's boat, and you don't want to do anything to it to
Yeah, we
like.
don't
Yes.
mess it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the one thing boats are good at is getting messed up.
Yes.
That's their number one job, I believe.
So we were trying to avoid that
Yes.
Plus the pressure of doing a competition.
competition.
If it was just some random Sunday, okay, whatever. It took me 20 minutes to start the boat, but it's like, okay, we got it. We got to get going.
Yeah. It's so fun. It was funny. I mean, you kind of want to watch it because it's like, shit, man. Are we gonna get? Are we gonna fish today? Dude? Like, are we gonna even be in this competition? They didn't even understand because they didn't even realize we had a boat. Here's a funny thing.
Yeah.
They didn't realize
It's
that
your
we
little
had.
ace up your sleeve.
Ninja tactics.
I mean, y'all gonna have to listen to it, but and watch it. But yeah, they had no idea that because they all watch our stuff. They're like, man, you guys are bank fishermen.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
They're probably easy, done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check 'em
Everything's
out.
checked off.
Yeah. So we're like, but then, back in our heads, we're like, man, we're going to be so behind the 8 ball. We got to get we have to have some type of movement.
Yes.
There's no way we can just be on. So I asked Sean, shout out to Sean, those Saki Fishing that allowed to, rent the boat out to us. So it was kind of cool of him. But
When can we expect to see these videos?
we're still
Maybe
in
a couple weeks.
couple weeks. We're still
So
in that-
give
Late-
everyone
late
a date.
September.
Late September.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still going through all the footage because there's a lot of man. I left my shit on for like 24 hours, man. I'm like, yeah,
I'm not
imagine
missing a part of
I
this.
know. I was like, imagine trying to cut that shit out. And I was talking to kids. The kids are watching. I'm like, Dad, why are you watching yourself just cast? That's exactly what she said. My daughter said, Dad, why are you watching yourself just cast? I go, honey, I'm just trying to find when I catch the fish.
Dad's
dude."
working. Dad's working.
So
funny, dude.
one of my buddies I wrestled with, he texted me yesterday and said his son, who's I think 5 or 6, is watching my videos.
Ooh.
And watching
That's
me.
about the right age group.
Well, intellectually speaking, we have a lot of common
Barney,
ground.
Spencer, the same difference.
A lot of common ground there. He was watching me cut bait with a pair of scissors,
I gotta
and,
take a leak.
Yeah,
and he wanted to make sure that I knew I could borrow his knife.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Quit ruining your scissors. I got you, man.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm still. Holy shit! Did I just finish a 6-pack of Trulies?
Well, I see 4 dead ones.
Yeah, it happens.
It happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
It happened. But no, this is.
I would say they have more in the cooler, but this is a bait shop. They only have like guide beers.
Oh, they actually had Trulies, dude. Okay, so FYI, y'all gotta come check out Johnston's Bait and Tackle. They
Yes.
actually have seltzers.
They have,
What?
they have a pretty well stocked
Yes.
cooler. I was impressed. I brought beer because I didn't know. That's the first time I've ever been here.
Didn't know either.
I don't fish in this area, so I've never been here.
Johnston
It's
Bait and
badass.
Tackle is something that I feel really fortunate that we have available.
Agreed.
Because, like,
How?
not every state has something like this available. It's a mom and pop shop that is very well outfitted.
Yes.
Like you
Can you like take the camera around like at the end of the video and just kind of show?
Ooh, that's a good
sure.
idea.
Yeah.
I will, for
Just
sure.
kind of show Johnson's.
They,
sure.
they cater towards the needs of the local angler. So if you're fishing in central Iowa, odds are they're going to have the things you want. And
Exactly the things you want.
And they also have the Certified Swimmer Series.
They do right as you walk in the door.
Yeah, it's
They have
Right.
Whisker Seeker
Lift to
tackle.
the left.
They're
Lift
out.
to the
They're
left.
out of the margarita color currently, but they
The
have
one that catches fish?
I'm a big fan of the
Which
A
one?
Naturel.
Really?
That might,
Okay.
if I could only go with one, that'd be the one I'd go with.
Okay.
And then the margarita's solid, and I mean, obviously they're all designed to catch fish. But if I had to rank them, I'd go A Naturel.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go probably the margarita, and then so on and so forth after that. I can't remember what I called the I can't even chartreuse. The
Chartreuse.
chartreuse. Yes.
Chartreuse?
Yeah. I named the freaking things. I can't remember the names of them.
Well, tell them how long you thought about this.
Oh, it took me like minutes to name them all. And
He sent me a text message. He's like, I'm done naming them. I'm like, you just started.
It might have been like 3 minutes to name them all.
So, this is the thing, man.
Oh, the next one coming out, it's not out yet because
All right.
Scott is not satisfied with how it looks, but the chicken smoke.
Huh?
The chicken smoke will be the next color.
You sure that's going to catch fish?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I've caught them.
Scientifically
Nice.
proven.
Yep.
All right. Our fishing kit's back. But, hold on.
It's kind of impressive back there.
Oh,
Is it?
Those
Yeah.
bait tanks.
It's a little big.
Oh, did you
never been
pee in
back
the
there.
bait tank?
I was like, oh, this must be the toilet.
Hey, everybody, you guys come to John. No, but a huge shout out to him. Fishing Camp and myself, we're huge proponents of local. And that's why it was pretty badass that Fishing Kit, asked them so we can shoot this here. So it's kind of cool that we
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask them if we can record a few here.
Anytime.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, just let us know.
Well, you
We'll
say
just-
anytime, like
Well, I mean, I
like
act
you
like I
give
owned it.
permissions to. No, I'm talking to if Tom will let us.
I mean
record a
any
few.
time when you record, let us know so we'll just come
Oh,
and
we will.
ruin
Yeah, we
your
will.
shit.
Yeah.
That's
Halfway
what I was
through,
saying. I
you're
know.
like, yeah.
You're closer now.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. That's by design.
But no, super shout out to for sure, Johnston Bait and Tackle. Just allow us to come here, and then if you guys are looking for, like you said, river certified bait lures,
Jurassic Plastics.
Jurassic Plastics,
Yep.
still here, and then Saki Fishing, dude. I think they carry his rods too.
Yep.
They got a full line of Whisker
Whisker
Seeker stuff.
Seekers,
Yeah.
our sponsors here, so that's pretty badass of them to have. I'm still looking for the. I don't know if I saw the catfish and
Carp
rods?
No, they just got the medium, heavy, and
Yep.
heavies.
I've been looking for that. Hopefully, I'll talk to Tom after if they have some.
I
I've been
bet he
wanting-
could get you some.
There we go.
Yeah.
I guess I could just say, hey, Whisker Seeker,
Yeah.
do you have a rod available, sir?
Within 2 days, you would have one.
I probably could
For
just.
for
Yeah.
a general purpose bait rod, it's tough to beat the spinning rods.
That's why
Oh, dude.
I
Like
see
it-
you two. Like you guys
Shiner
use them.
fishing,
Okay.
cut bait for channel cats, like all kinds of stuff. For
Cut
it.
bait for wipers. They're so fun.
And you
Yes.
don't break the
Yes.
bank. And you get quality and not breaking the bank. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, shit, man, you guys be catching hella fish on them.
I can confirm they'll catch flatheads up to 44 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
In pretty good current. That spot you caught them was
Good current, and
pretty
you
good
can
ripping.
pull them out of about 11 snags. I think that's how many times it snagged up when I pulled it out.
It did take about 20 minutes, though, didn't it? Or maybe even longer than that, didn't it?
It took me an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 20.
But the majority of it was due to me battling it out of those snags. Like, in an hour and 20 minutes, I snagged probably 10 or 11 times.
Gee.
Yeah.
So if you want to control a 44-pounder, you probably ought to go with the heavy.
Right, yes.
But if
yes.
you want to have a hour and 20 fun-ass fight, the
Oh, it's-
catfish and carp rod's not a bad way to go.
Too much anxiety. If I had to choose between them, I'm going with the medium heavier heavies. But I wasn't fishing for them when he hit.
No.
And the irony of it was, in a week's time, when I was trying to dial in some wipers that never showed up, I caught 3 flatheads, a 20, a 40, and a 44.
Oh,
All on those.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
man, must be nice.
And I caught the 20, and then I caught the 44, dealt with all the BS, and then I'm like realizing how much more pressure I can put on the fish with these rods. So I went from catching a 44 in an hour and 20 minutes to catching a 40 in 10.
Dang.
Yeah.
Badass.
Well, the thing I have to compare it to is like one of the biggest flatheads I ever caught was at that current time was 44 pounds. So I just started flathead fishing, got lucky, was walleye fishing with 6-pound line, and I caught a 44-pounder on 6-pound line.
No, 6 pound?
And I landed it in 30 minutes. So when somebody says like, "Oh
Some
yeah,"
superheroes jump tall buildings in a single bound.
Yes, so.
He catches 44 to a
Jeez, on a
6-pound
6-pound line?
all right, so it wasn't supposed to be a sarcastic pat on the back moment.
Oh, it wasn't. I was making fun of you.
I know. It was sarcastic.
Screw you, Spencer.
My point being is, if somebody's fishing like conventional catfish gear,
Uh-huh.
like 50 to 80-pound line for big fish,
With pool
and-
cues?
with pool
Yeah.
cues, and they're like, "Yeah, I fought this fish for 2 hours," I immediately call bullshit. I'm thinking, I put a 44 on the bank on 6-pound line in a half hour, and you fight a fish for 2.5 hours on 50-pound line? Like, I've literally put,
How many times did you let him back in?
no shit.
Reel him in, let him back. Reel him in, let him back.
Like, I've caught sharks up to 150 pounds on 20-pound line, and it took me 20 minutes. Like, I think it's a lot of it's understanding of your equipment.
For sure.
And
it's
straight
not
heat.
Straight heat.
Straight heat.
Well, it's knowing how much heat too.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I'm not like this world's greatest fisherman. It's just I don't make up stories.
So, this is the thing. You're probably kind of well known as Iowa's fishing guy.
Oh gosh.
Do you get a lot of Do you get a lot of people
That
coming
wasn't
telling you?
cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
You
cringy,
are.
and then I'm like, I wish Iowa could do better if that's the case.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say that's like some new business cards. I was fishing guy.
Iowa's fishing guy.
Spencer Bauer.
Do
I was
it.
fishing guy.
I've won exactly 0 tournaments.
But do you ever get like people just come up just randomly just give you all kinds of bullshit? You're just like, and you shake your head yes, but in your back of your mind just like no. Do you get that a lot?
I mean, so it depends on what you mean bullshit. I have
like every day. I've been with him.
every time I'm
day.
with Ryan, I get a lot of bullshit.
Coincidence.
But
It happens.
like somebody will come up and say hi
Yeah.
fairly regularly in certain places. Like if I'm walking through a Walmart,
Okay.
it's probably not going to be anybody who's going to come up and say anything to me. But if I walk up through a Bass Pro, I'd say maybe every once in a while someone will be like, "Hey, River Certified." I'd be like, some days I'm River Certified. And I enjoy that, like, because what's that person going to do? They're going to want to talk fishing.
For sure.
All I want to do is talk fishing. But as far as giving me bullshit stories, that happens to everybody regardless. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be talking to somebody and they're gonna say, "Hey, I caught a 20-pound blue cat out of the Des Moines River."
Oh.
And in the back of my mind, I'm like, "No, you didn't." Am I going to tell them that? No. 'Cause
Congrats.
It's their
That's
story,
awesome.
and I'll let them
I've
tell
never
it.
got a blue there. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You found them.
It's crazy they only got to 20 pounds.
So
Yeah.
that kind of brings a story. Dude, it was 30.
30. What
Yeah,
was
the
30?
blue cat when we went down.
This
Here we go
story.
again.
The
Dude,
fish
Denny
that
was.
there's no
Speaking
proof.
of Denny, but Denny was right there. He was like 20 feet away.
I never heard even Denny confirm it.
It was 25 to 30.
So
You give him shit like he said 125. Like 30-pound blue is a really nice fish, but it's not like
I thought it's
me.
a 3-year-old fish.
No, it's a
for
30
him,
pound.
it's a crazy
But they were
big fish.
they were just giving me shit. It was my birthday weekend. We went down to the spot to catch blues.
Yeah.
And I caught one on the yak, and it was completely tied up in my
Anchor
anchor
rope.
And Denny was like, dude, he's gonna lose it. He was like, he told me after, he goes, dude.
Now, Denny's supposed to be a life coach. That doesn't sound like life coaching to me.
Shout out to Denny. I don't think he
Dude,
listens
you
to this
suck,
shit anyways. But
he's
shout out to
busy.
Denny.
He's busy positively influencing people.
But
He
Denny,
ain't gonna land it.
He was positive you were not going to land it.
so Denny, 100% after I landed it, he goes, dude, I thought you were gonna lose it. I didn't want to say nothing. You were effed up because it was completely around the anchor.
Well, he didn't say anything. That's
No.
positive.
He
That
didn't
is
want to
positive.
because at the moment when I was
He
struggling,
just wanted to watch a train wreck happen.
that could have been it. I think he was watching.
No news is good news.
And I finally landed it. And I was like, because I wasn't recording anything fishing wise then. And I was like, I was so happy. I didn't go. I was worried, like, is the fish gonna die? I gotta release it because this is so big, like the biggest blue I ever caught. And then he's like, did you get a picture? I go, man, nobody had a camera. Denny didn't have a camera. Freaking
Denny, the guy with like 2 GoPros on his kayak, didn't have a camera.
Kid's like about 100 yards away. He's just like, are you sure that's a fish? Being a dick that he was. He's like, are you sure?
Moral of the story is this fish doesn't exist because it wasn't documented.
Dude,
Yeah.
it existed.
Pics or it didn't happen.
Sasquatch of the blue cat world.
The best, biggest blue I've ever caught in my life. I mean, I'm a fat, big guy. And it was 30.
If it was 30, it was a 38 to 40 inch fish, and so over 3 feet of blue cat.
Yeah, it was. Guaranteed. I mean, to me, it's...
Did you measure?
Well,
did you
No,
measure
I
it?
didn't measure.
Yeah, 38 to 40 inches.
How the hell
is-
are you going to measure that on the kayak?
you
We
use
do
a
it all the
ruler.
time.
Yeah, use a ruler.
Yeah, they have
It's some with-
tournaments where they go
some
off of
with
measurements.
regulated numbers on it. I mean,
That's bullshit.
Kayak tournaments, they use a ruler.
I'm pretty sure
But
that's
is-
the standard measurement.
But
for
is that a
kayak.
competition, dude? I was just so excited.
It's
Dude, you
easier-
had to see me. I was...
You just said like how, like it.
It's easier to
hundreds and
measure
hundreds
them.
of people do it.
It's easier to measure them than weigh them on a kayak.
See, you're
for
not
sure.
doing yourself any
I'm
favors
not,
right
but
now.
God, I was so excited, guys. You have to understand, dude. This shit was bad.
I do understand.
I was like so excited, but then I didn't want it to die. I wasn't sure. And the kid's like, "Oh, it's tough. You could have just brought it over here. I would take a picture of you."
Catfish
Like,
are
You want me
tough.
to tell you
Yeah.
a story to make you feel better?
I hope.
We'll see how much better you feel after this.
You
Just
might
wait.
feel worse.
You'll at least feel like you're not the only one.
Right.
So there was a Flathead tournament. Well, it basically was a Flathead tournament because it was the biggest. It was either the biggest. It was the one I fished against you in.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I think it was the biggest fish of the year one.
Yes. Like you could use diddy poles, you could use
Yeah, it
rod and
didn't-
reel. It
it
just had to
didn't-
be legally caught.
Legally caught.
And it was kind of a bunch of buddies.
Yep.
Together.
It was
Yeah.
just a handful of people. It wasn't a big deal.
No.
But it was over the course of the summer, and the deal was you had to have a picture of the fish, you had to have a picture of the fish on a scale, and document the weight. And the first year, like, I dominated.
There was more than 1 year?
Yeah, there's 2.
Oh, I was only in it 1 year.
No, I beat, well, so the year that I beat you was the first year.
Oh, okay.
And then the second year they did it again, and you obviously walked away with your
I
tail
didn't
between
even-
your
I
legs.
didn't even know about it. We put up one good fish.
You
I
did.
could put
You
up
did.
a 35 or something.
You would have cracked the top at 10 of mine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I won it the first year, and I'm feeling good.
With what, a 37 or something? It wasn't
It
much
wasn't a
bigger.
freak show.
No, it was. I think I had a 35. You had like a 37.
I had 5 over 35, but I couldn't crack 38.
Jeez.
Allegedly.
No.
That was before
There was
video.
no allegedly.
That was before video
before-
evidence.
this is before
Yeah.
video?
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like, they were documented on camera.
Were they?
Yeah.
I thought that was before it was. You had videos out.
I didn't have videos, but I took photos of the fish and the fish on the scale.
He's the guy that has the fish, changes his shirt, takes another picture.
Are you really? You're that guy.
dropped some
really?
sinkers down his throat. Changed the weight.
Pulls
So-
on the tail a little bit, so the scale's a
This
little
story
heavier.
would be over by now if I could just say it.
That doesn't make good productions.
So the second year, I struggled, and I caught the fish that would have won it, the whole thing.
Really?
But I was by myself, and it's I'm trying to remember what chain of events led up to me having this fish out of the water for a minute, and instead of taking the time to photograph it on the scale, I decided to just let it go.
That's pretty much what I did.
Right, and then in hindsight, I'm like, I'm an idiot. I should have just held it in the water for 5 minutes and then hung it on a scale after it was revived. So I almost made you feel
I
better.
wasn't gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Yeah.
I was like,
But I would have won a whole $300.
yeah. You should have.
Yeah.
But that story was so long that Grandy forgot he was feeling bad about himself.
Yeah, I
so
think
it
so.
worked.
I think it worked.
Yes.
But it's
And well, then
It's the old rope-a-dope.
then I reminded him.
that's pretty good, bro.
It's the old rope-a-dope.
I almost feel a little bit better, man, that I didn't get that picture. I'm a little
Almost.
sad though because we bring this up every so often, and then this guy, I was like,
Dude, just catch a 60 and
Yeah.
maybe
Man,
water under the bridge.
Make me shut up.
I'm going down there
Made
in
me
middle
shut up.
October and running 3 guide trips down there.
middle October.
Yeah, the 14th, 15th, 16th.
I'm actually going down there.
I gotta
in,
go to Vegas
like
and then-
2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Oh, we're gonna be.
I leave for Spain in 6 days.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Cause I was gonna tell you.
Yeah,
we're
the
gonna-
next 2 weeks.
I just
you're
realized
rolling.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 days? How long are you gonna be gone for?
A week.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, if
I
you
don't
want,
know.
real quick before the end. Well, holy shit, we're 2 hours in, so we'll go.
Two
It's a good one.
hours.
It's
We're
a good
almost.
one.
We're
Yeah.
almost. No, we're good.
Yeah, he's
You
got
don't have to
his
get
drink.
super into detail,
Yeah,
but
but what do you got going in Spain, sir?
I'm a fish for Wells.
Wells catfish.
Yeah.
Big jumbos.
I'm not looking forward to the plane ride because I don't like plane rides that much. And then I'm going to be in a plane for like 16 hours.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I'm leaving on a Friday and I'm like going ahead in time. So it's like amplified by jumping ahead all the time zones, I think. And then on the
So
way
it gets
back.
in on a Tuesday.
Yeah, basically. it's like we leave early. I think the plane takes off at 6:10 Friday morning,
Okay.
and then we get there at 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday. I think.
It's gotta be. You can't be that too
But
much.
it's like it's 12 or 13 hours. No, it's I don't know. It's a pile of time in the air,
yeah.
but not nearly that much time. And then on the way back, we leave at 9 in the morning, and then we land in Des Moines at like 11 at night.
I think when you come back, you're gonna be jumping back in time because they're
Yeah.
so far ahead.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave on what day did you say you were leaving?
Same day.
Same
We leave
day.
on a Saturday, get back on a Saturday. And the only reason it's going to take so long is because my flight got rescheduled and I had to go through a bunch of hoops to get it, back to where I'm going to make it home. and,
Or at least back within 12 hours of home.
well, the flight, so we go from Barcelona straight to Chicago. And then we go from Chicago to Dallas, Dallas to Des Moines.
It makes so much sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
geologically.
Yeah.
I'm kind of annoyed by that. As a guy who doesn't enjoy being in a plane, not too excited about it.
Add an extra 4 hours.
But are
to
you
your trip.
excited to catch a species that you haven't caught?
Or even seen in
Or seen,
person.
yeah.
I'm just
Dude.
excited to put eyes on one. Like, whether I reel it in or not, like,
Yeah.
I want to see one in person.
So
And, like, touch it. Because they look squishy. I want to know if they're squishy.
They're kind of
the first time I met Spencer, he did the same thing. He's like,
You're a little squishy. I like you, but you're a little squishy.
It's just his thing.
I feel like they're kind of a legendary status as far as catfish are concerned.
Like the pinnacle.
This is
Yes.
like Discovery Channel.
I don't think they're the pinnacle.
What?
Really?
The
Pinnacle.
Paraiba's the pinnacle.
So let's get back to this Wells. How many people are going to be on that group that you're fishing with?
It was originally 5. We're down to 4.
Give me the number of the biggest Wells catfish that you will see out of the water.
I mean, it's fishing, so you can never guarantee anything. But the guy says it's the trophy time of year, which is one of the reasons we booked that. And based on his Facebook group, from what I've seen, it's not uncommon over a week period for somebody to put 150 plus pound Wells catfish on the bank.
Crazy.
Now, is it possible we don't make that happen? Yes. But is it possible we make that happen many times? Also, yes. And there's the possibility of a 200 to 300 pounder hitting the bank because they're there.
Dude.
3 bills.
3 bills.
That's what are the inches on the 3 bills fish?
I mean, they're
Probably
longer.
bigger around than longer, right?
No, because they got that eel tail.
Oh, that's true.
So
But they're a 300 pounder would be substantially longer than I am tall. And I'm like a foot taller than everyone in this room. So.
No lie.
Asian tradition continues. 5'6",
Ryan.
homies.
And Ryan's fitting in.
I'm the tallest of 8, fucker. We just don't build them tall.
Oh, dude.
Build them tough, not tall.
That's right.
And
So,
I'm just mentally squishy. You're just squishy.
Do you know what you're going to be using for bait? Because these fish, there's videos out there of them creeping up on pigeons bathing in the water.
You know what the funny thing of that is? We're using dough bait.
Dough bait.
No.
So one of the most expensive parts of this whole trip. It's cheaper to go on this trip. Like this trip is a third the cost of going to Alaska.
Wow.
You can go to
really?
Spain and fish wells for not nothing, but if you think
Compared to
about
like your Amazon trips, it's a third
it's
of
a
that.
third the cost of the Amazon trip.
Huh.
And but one of the bigger expenses is the bait. Like, because you chum it.
They know what they got.
Because you chum the area with the bait, so you use a bunch for chum, and then you use that as your bait, and it's all prepared stuff.
Weird.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
And the guide prepares it himself, I'm guessing.
No,
right?
he orders it all.
Oh, really?
And that's why it's
Really?
freaking expensive. Because you go through a pile of it. Like, you can go through 1 to 2 sacks, and the sacks are like 3 gallons
Yeah.
a day.
dang.
Wow.
And I think they're like 25 to $50 a piece. I don't remember. Like, I'll have to look at it.
Depends on how good the fish are biting. The price might increase a little
Well,
bit.
and the amount you use increases. You
Yeah.
know, if you catch a pile,
That's
you're going
true.
to use a lot of bait, and it's going to be more money. But I think so. What is it? I totaled my cost without bait at like $1,300, not counting food and drink
For a week.
for a week.
For a week?
That's dirt cheap.
So that's plane
Yeah.
ticket, out like lodging and guide.
Dude,
$1,300.
that's super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you got your food, which you're going to eat no matter where you go or what you do, and then you got your bait. So, I mean, split 4 ways, it should be under, I mean, depending on how much beer I drink, under $1,500.
Yeah.
Well, how
And
much is beer
cheap.
over there, though?
Beer's cheap over
Is
there,
it?
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Cheaper.
It's not like I can drink it at the moment. Give me a Busch Light. Let's do it right now.
Ruin
We're
your whole
really
trip.
testing it. Let's test it.
No.
We're about out of it. There's no sense in testing it.
We're going to be a good influence until you know.
Yeah.
Gee.
But I want to say beer over there is like 50 cents a can.
Wow.
Where if you
Wow.
right now gas stations are advertising a 12-pack of Busch Light for $12.
And how much is shipping? Like, what can we get a ship back for?
No kidding.
We could do a profit margin ratio.
Well, that is one fun thing about traveling that I never even thought about till I got there is sampling, like, the beers there.
Yeah.
So when I was in the Amazon, I can't remember the names of the beers, but they had 2 different ones there, both good. One I thought was better than the other, but they're just funny. Like, instead of 12-ounce cans, they're 10-ounce cans. And they had foil. So they had a
Foil?
regular pop top like these, but they had foil you had to peel off. It was just different, you know.
There's a lot of critters there. They want to double protect it.
You know, I think that is legit the reason they are the way they
Yeah.
are.
Well, I kind of want to talk about when I met I ran into your brother.
Oh, make it quick.
Z-Bunny.
I have to pee.
So
Let him go pee and then we'll
yeah,
reconvene.
go pee
Yeah,
first.
go pee real quick.
or poop if you have to.
Oh, we're keeping that in.
In the bait tank.
Spencer, go poo in the bait tank.
Oh shit! All right, pee break's over. You were saying
There I
Right,
was.
you were
You were saying
you
something.
were talking about me and my brother.
Oh yeah, you and your brother.
Hey, FYI, I'm drinking the second beer.
Oh,
We
second
told you,
beer.
just for the record,
no.
we told you not to.
Tell him don't do it.
Spencer, when's the last time that I listened to anybody?
I don't know.
Last time your wife spoke.
Yeah.
Shit. He right.
All right. Anyway, so I ran into Spencer's brother.
And I knew about it before you ever told me because he told me.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. I just happened to be in his old stomping grounds. Random gas station, 6 a.m. in the morning. I go in there.
He just got off work.
Oh, he did just get off work. Okay. So I go in there. I was with my brother-in-law. We were gonna go fishing, and then I just see this big ass dude.
He sticks out. He's
He
not a
does.
small
He's
man.
How tall is he?
6'4".
He's for like 280 pounds.
350?
350. Jesus.
Not a tiny dude.
Not a tiny dude.
No.
But anyways, I'm
He
like,
carries it as well as anyone who's 350. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. Well, he was wearing shorts, and I'm talking to one of my buddies. Like, I think that's Spencer's brother. He was like,
Did
how
you
do you
give
know?
a Z-Bunny?
I was kind of
Just to see me turn around.
People who are close to him call him Z Honey.
Z Honey. Okay. Well, anyways, so I'm kind of. I was pretty sure it was your brother, and I don't want to sound like a creeper or weirdo.
Any more than you already do.
Yeah. So I was kind of scoping him out, and I see a Cubs tattoo
Yep.
and a catfish tattoo.
No,
Well, is it not a catfish?
it's an Arapaima.
Oh, Arapaima. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking that is Spencer's brother.
Gotta be.
He's cashing out, and I just go up behind him. Excuse me. Hey, excuse me. And he turns around. I'm like, holy shit, this guy. He looks scary. Like for me, a guy that's 5'4", 145 pounds, going up to this guy. He just turns around.
Could I help you, son?
Is your name Zach? He's like, yeah. Like, you're Spencer's brother, aren't you? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I know him. And then he's like, how do you know my brother? Like super. I was like, man, it looked like he was pissed off, like that I was bothering him. Like, how do you know my brother? I was like, oh, I fished with him a few times, and I recognize you from his videos, and he's just like staring me down.
My side of the story, before I ever heard this side of the story, me and my brother recently went on a camping trip together. And one of the first things he told me once he got to my house for us to leave and said, he goes, I met one of your followers. I said, oh yeah, tell me about it. He goes, it was super awkward.
Yeah, it was.
And I said, the story is so much better knowing that it was super awkward. And then he described the person, and I was like, oh, that's Kit. He's harmless, don't worry.
He described the person.
Don't worry.
Done.
And I'm thinking, I feel like he would have been in your videos enough times where this wasn't the first time.
I think it was one of the first times.
Yeah, and then I commented on one of your videos, and he's like, "This was the first time that happened." I was like, "Holy shit!" There's no. I felt so freaking weird.
And privileged. You should feel privileged.
Yeah. I'm a pioneer.
Yes.
And now that he's been showing up in more videos, there's gonna be more and more people
That's right.
coming up
I
to
hope
him.
so.
There'll be Z-Bunny sightings left and right.
Hey, Z buddy.
So the progression of his nicknames. His name's Zach. We've already confirmed that. But we used to do this strength and conditioning program at Central College growing up.
Okay.
And the strength and conditioning coach was awesome. And
So he got the strength, you got the conditioning. Was it like a half and half deal?
I didn't get either.
You can run like the wind blows.
I was working out yesterday, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow, I have no conditioning. So I definitely got neither. These don't help, but I'm going to keep drinking them.
Well,
It's all right.
But anyway.
insert the 45-year-old fat guy, and you have some cardio left,
Thank you.
buddy.
Thank you. We're starting at the bottom. I'll take it. But one of the grad assistants who worked with the strength and conditioning coach was a football player who was full of shit, and we all loved him, and he was a good time. And it was about the time Seabiscuit came out, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gave him the nickname Z Biscuit.
Oh.
Nice.
And from that,
Nice.
propagated all these other nicknames from Z Money to Z Honey to Z Bunny to Z. I don't remember.
Triscuit, I think, was one.
Triscuit.
Well, there was one video where I just every time he talked, I gave him a different nickname.
That went well.
That started
it
with
did
Z.
go well. Yes.
I enjoyed editing that one quite a bit.
We got a little fly porn going on the
it's
styrofoam there.
As long as they're on the outside.
I've literally. That's what Ryan brings to the table, everybody.
But it's all right.
Yeah.
Because can you do that in your podcast? You got to keep it PG-13.
What is that noise?
As long as we don't say porn, we're good.
Sounds like an ambulance.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
ambulance.
Okay.
Was.
Or
Oh.
Or a fire truck.
Would it be
Maybe
kind
that's
of
the fire
crazy if
truck.
it came here like all the shit?
Yeah, there's some shit going down outside and we have no idea.
It's possible.
Oh, here comes Tom.
We got Tom. Tom's like, all right.
he's like, there's no way they're
Gotta
still
cut it off.
alive back there.
What's going on, Tom?
Tom's got to cut it off.
I don't know. I guess I need to watch more of these because I don't know, a bunch of giggling monkeys.
So,
3 hours. I don't know.
So-
Like, what the
So let me
hell's
paint the
going on?
picture of what just
Yes.
happened. The owner of this establishment came in and was like, "What are you guys still doing here? You need to get the hell out of here."
hey, Spencer, can
Rent
you
is due.
tell the owner, man? I don't know, man. He's wearing some garbage on his
Yeah.
shirt.
He's wearing a trash bag.
I'm just saying.
So I
it
make
happens.
I make this bet with a buddy of mine every year for the Nebraska-Iowa game, and if Iowa wins, he has to wear all Iowa stuff, and if Nebraska wins, I have to wear all Nebraska stuff to this golf tournament. And I've never had to wear the Nebraska stuff, and I can only assume that's what happened to Tom with Iowa State.
Love it. Go
Yeah.
Hawks, baby.
Yeah, go Hawks.
Go, but this is the thing. Are you down, Tom? We'll do a bet. I will wear that shirt and color
Cardinal and gold.
if today, because this is Cy-Hawk week and this is Cy-Hawk game in about 30 minutes. If Iowa State wins, I will wear that shirt, whatever, and we'll do a podcast because he's going to jump on with us.
Okay.
And he's going to have so much,
So many good things to say.
ammunition.
I think you got to get a chance today.
Yeah.
You might as well just give him that shirt right now.
So
Yeah.
I'll go out there and say
Agreed.
it.
I am
If you weren't wearing such a piece of garbage.
Gotta love it.
Come on,
though.
Tom. You got to do better than that. He already called your
If I
shirt
wanted to wear
garbage.
that, I would just jump in the dumpster.
Oh, that's better.
man.
Get minnows.
Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, typical Iowa Staters, they don't have the heart. They don't have the heart to put the bet on the line. I'm just saying, I'll do it.
But thanks for letting us use your shop. by the way,
Yes.
Tom.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to
Appreciate it.
Tom
Not
at
the
Johnston Bait and Tackle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And stop by. It's an amazing shop.
Oh, yeah.
Wallet, small wallet. What I got 3 bills. You got 3 bills?
They're raking in. I mean, he's a bait shop owner, folks. He's got all kinds of money.
Yeah, he's bringing the bait shop money over here.
I got 4 daughters, like 9 under. I'm looking at it like, that's food money.
And Tom's son helps him run the place, so he's
Yes,
actually
sir.
making money, not spending it all the time.
But honest truth though, come check out Johnston Bait and Tackle. Badass of you
Absolutely.
guys having us
Yes.
here, Tom.
Yes,
They
thank
are
you.
located
You have
in
enough
Johnston.
Beverages? Do I need, it looks like maybe
I
you
think
need
we
more.
had a.
Are you gonna go pick up more?
Yeah, I'm good.
He'll sell us all we want. True
No, we
salesman.
can't
Yeah,
sell.
he can't sell it.
Can't sell it.
Oh.
We
But
can't drink it here if he sells it to
But
us.
I was
Gotcha.
asking Tom earlier. He shook his head no. But I said, "Can I buy your line for about 5 times what it usually costs?"
5 times?
I'm confused.
So he could get the alcoholic beverages.
Never mind. We might have to cut that part off.
But he turned you down because he's a tried and true businessman.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I'll give you all you want, but you can't buy it.
Yeah, there you go.
Gratuity is accepted.
On that note, though, it is Cyhawk Week. We have the game coming up in about 20, 30 minutes here.
Yeah.
It's like 15 now.
Or 15.
Yeah.
Fishing kit.
It'll be good to listen to the radio on my ride home because I got like a 45-minute drive home, or an hour, I guess.
So
be
this is probably been one of the most entertaining, funnest, just kickback podcasts we've had in a long time. So
then Spencer.
And then Spencer. So I truly appreciate you guys just hanging out with us. But Fishing Kid, you got anything else for these gentlemen?
Okay, so this is gonna be kind of like on your segment. You guys have one segment on your podcast.
Yes.
This is gonna be kind of like the last cast, but I'll say it's the last fish.
Oh,
I don't leave until I catch that one more fish.
That's
Yeah.
true.
you don't flathead fish.
Well, then I'll be there until
I called in sick for 7 days in a row.
Yeah. Gotta do it.
All right, so what's your one last fish?
The last fish. Thank you guys. Every time I get together with you guys, it's a blast. Thank Johnston Bait and Tackle for letting us jump in here. This is actually my first time. I'm from about hour and 15 away, so this is my first time actually here. I don't do a whole lot of fishing in this area, but I'm impressed with the selection.
It's a cool place.
With the top quality that they have. Like, they don't have some mom and pop bait and tackle stores you go into. You'll be lucky to find 2 things that you'd actually use.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it's junk.
Most of
Sure.
it's stuff that they've had in inventory for like 2 decades.
Yes. Like, you can't see through the package because they're like yellowed and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is top of the line equipment. Like, if you really want to use the best stuff, it's here.
You can come here and get a lunker hunt spider topwater bait.
Lunker Hunt?
What the hell is a lunker hunt? Can you explain to somebody?
That's the name of the company. It's
Okay.
Lunker Hunt. So it'd be like Strike. No, I was thinking Strike Master. But
Strike King?
Strike King, spinner bait.
Okay.
But you got a Lunker Hunt topwater spider.
So it's multiple lures in one?
No, it's
Oh.
it's literally a spider.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the dumbest lure ever. But
But it worked.
but I mean, I'm sure it catches fish. But my point being is,
You can find some cool stuff here.
no, yes.
Yeah, you can find some
Halloween
cool stuff here.
decorations.
My point being is they have an impressive inventory.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
their inventory's large enough they include stuff like that.
Right.
Very
Yeah,
true.
there's
And Grandy, I hope you do take the camera around. Just do one lap around the shop
Yes,
before you
for
sure.
Yes.
and at
Yes.
it, because there's a lot of cool shit. Like,
It's
they have a
fun.
whole room of rods. Like,
Yes.
all the different rods that you would want. They've got a whole room of them.
in a pile of variety. It's
Yeah.
and it's good stuff. They have Daiwa stuff. They got Shimano stuff. They got Fenwicks. I don't know if they have G Loomis. I think they had some St. Croix, maybe.
I think he might.
Yeah, some St. Croix. They got the catfish stuff, Whisker Seeker, Bad Cats.
And
Catch the
Whisker Seeker,
Fever.
they've got like some of all of the tackle. Like, if you want
Yes.
anything Whisker Seeker, it's on the
Well,
shelf.
they got like an end cap thing.
Yeah,
that
like
has
they've-
all of it.
Even like the grips and the
scales,
scale and
yeah.
all that stuff.
You know, the funny thing is, we do this podcast and we're actually sponsored by Whisker Seeker, but we never really say much about them because they just do their shit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you guys some shit in a little bit.
No, they're an awesome company. Like they
sure.
focus on the things that matter. The awkwardly obvious promotion of product. Some companies want you to do that, but it's just not natural. You know,
Agreed.
it's forced. So they don't want you to do that, and I'm not a fan of that either. You know, if somebody makes something good, you're going to talk about how good it is, and if it's not good, then when you talk about how good it is, it's going to feel forced.
And then you lose your credibility from people that's actually used it, and they're like, "No, that's garbage."
Yes,
You know?
but with Whisker Seeker stuff, their stuff is genuinely awesome. So when you talk about it, it's very fluid and natural because you're talking about how awesome it actually is.
Yeah, they've been so awesome to work with. There's basically no pressure from them. Like, they don't tell us, oh, you guys need to push this or promote this or say this about whatever.
Or catch more of this. You suck, Court. Granted, can you catch some more fish? I go, I'm trying.
I'll say that. Like, come on, Gord.
It's not because of your equipment, I promise.
I'm like, damn, man, I'm trying, guys. I got a lie.
And then when you do catch, like, even this guy using Whisker Seeker stuff.
Thanks, man. Even this guy. Cheers to that, a-hole. That's why they're actually good to work with. I agree with you on that, 100%, man. It's just, we have a good time.
If you're good, people tell you how good you are. You know, I feel like that kind of applies to fishing tackle. You know, if it's good, it's easy to talk about.
Yeah.
If it's not good, then you got to kind of force it.
Yeah.
What do you got? Last fish?
Oh, it's still Spencer's last fish.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Oh, it's on me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll mirror what Ryan said and start off with a thank you for having us on.
He's a follower.
I am.
Hey, I met one of your followers.
Yeah. My brother is anything but a follower.
Yeah.
He's quite the opposite.
He's the anti-Spencer.
You know, there's a little bit of that there. But I just had fun being on here.
Yeah,
And we're talking about my favorite subject, which is fishing. So it's easier for me to talk about it for hours on end, and just like we did. And
we got some dim.
oh,
Dim some.
yeah.
We gotta penalize them. We'll penalize them later.
I think he did that on purpose.
Ate good, drank good, and hopefully gonna watch some good football here shortly.
Yeah.
So thanks again.
You got Kit?
I guess it's my turn. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so one
We're
last
stealing
question.
the shit, dude.
One last question for you guys.
Yeah.
Since you've started being on the podcast front, is this the first time you guys been a guest on a podcast since you started?
Both of you.
Him,
Together.
no, me, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think though.
Because you've been on a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on one a few months ago, but I don't feel
Because you guys did one for us, but we haven't done one for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I did one with you guys. I think I've done two with you guys
with
prior
us.
to this.
We were one of the early birds of trying to make sure. Is it working?
But you're the only guys who invite me in person. Like I've done a handful of digital ones where you're on like a Zoom call basically, and I don't enjoy those that much.
It's not the same.
We know it.
It is
Yeah.
not the same.
We agree.
Yeah.
So you guys are the only ones who invite me in person, and for that I appreciate it. You know,
sure.
I
But is there
had a good time.
is there more in this area that get put out?
There's the Short Rod Show.
Short Rod Show.
Are they in the area?
They are in
We
there.
we had them on our podcast twice,
Right. I've listened to one of them. I don't think I've listened to both of them.
but I think that's it. In Iowa Central, it's just us. Oh, there might be a few in the NGLs or
IGL area.
Yeah, it's called NGLs. I don't know what.
Yeah, what's the N stand for?
Wow.
What is the N word?
I'm gonna assume it's
idea.
It's Nebraska.
No idea.
Nebraska.
No idea.
Northern
Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
But
Ryan, winner.
but I think there's a couple podcasts up northeast, and then after that, I don't think this is it. It's just River Certified.
That'd be
us.
Northwest, by the way.
Or Northwest. Sorry.
Yeah, Northwest. I think they're kind of big too. Those guys up north.
Yeah, they're huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with. Oh, sorry, I'm just intruding on your last fish.
No. I guess that's it for me.
All right. My last fish. Truly appreciate you guys just coming, kicking with us.
Wait, did you say truly? Because that's what you're drinking.
Why do I know this guy too well? I was like, should I say that word?
Truly.
I didn't do it already.
I don't know what to say. Oh, there's a word.
Are you guys Bush Light?
What do I do with my hands?
It's like a bush latte. But super fun, man. I just I'm very proud of you guys to represent Iowa the way you guys do. So back in my mind, I'm like, man, but all you guys, whatever you guys do, social media, whatever you guys do, so represent Iowa very well. And then on top of that, man, you guys come kick it with us, have a couple beers, eat some dim sum from Fishing Kit, and then we just do a little podcast. It's super fun, and then just give you guys a little bit of knowledge to a lot of people. I'm pretty sure, I might not be wrong, I don't know. A lot of people probably learn a lot from just hearing from you guys talk about your fishing adventures, everything a little bit, because I learned stuff. Just so you guys know, because so at the end of the day,
This
I-
chair is really squeaky. By the
Yeah,
way.
this was.
If you're wondering what that noise is, it's my chair.
I really started.
But there's a bonus room behind us that is occupied at this
I
moment.
really started like hardcore.
I love this place.
Getting into fishing. Maybe what did I say, Kit? Maybe less than 7 years ago, and then I'm just still learning. And then a lot of people said, "You said, but like, man, how the hell you not know that?" But I don't know that.
You don't know till you know.
As
Yeah.
a fisherman, like I'm still learning and gravitating and still
You
learning all this
only
shit.
know what you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
And then you guys might say like, how the? It's second nature to a lot of people.
dude, I'm like so aware of all the things. I mean, to say so aware, I feel like I'm pretty aware of the fact that I've learned a pile of things that seem second nature just because I've been obsessed since a very young age, and not everyone is that way.
No,
Like I've literally been obsessed with fishing since I have conscious memory.
And you've made it a priority in your life.
Yes, that's
a
the
lot
other-
of people don't have the time or the effort to make it a priority in their life.
And that's why I just want you guys to know it's important to me, because I mean I'm learning every time. Every time that you, dude, you're an idiot. Why didn't you even do this? I go in the back of my mind. I go, well, shit, I didn't know no better, or
Yeah.
I just like because
It
there's
does
a lot.
make you an easy target for giving you shit, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
but luckily,
Luckily, I don't pick the low-hanging fruit all the time.
luckily I'm secure enough that it's okay, because
I just drink a Trulies and move on.
Oh shit! Here we go, guys.
Do you truly feel that way?
But it helps me catch. Think of this thing. It helps me catch the next fish. As long as
Yes.
it does that for me,
Yes.
and I'm pretty sure everybody else can listen to this and or hear this and watch it. I'm appreciative. So badass. You guys represent Iowa. Go Hawks. At the end of the day, I don't know why the hell this shit got sentimental. It's so weird.
You got real mushy real
that was
fast.
super mushy. I don't know. It's so weird, but.
Trulies will do that to you.
Go grab a beer, everybody.
Brings out your feminine side.
Anyway, go Hawks.
Go Hawks, baby.
Go Hawks.
Super appreciated to River Certified Ryan Tasler. Go check them out. All their guide services. Not too many in Iowa. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Not too many in Iowa, guys. So if you guys come here and you guys want hang out in Iowa, check them out. At the end of the day, you might catch a fish or two.
And I'm not guaranteeing that, but we're going to have a hell of a good time.
Yes.
Either way.
All right.
We're going to laugh till our face hurts. We might catch a big one.
And catch
So-
a 40.
So at the end of the day, you got anything else? Cut off?
Leave a review.
Leave a review.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fishing kit stickers are now available at sakefishing.com.
Bang, bang.
And share
Nice.
the podcast.
Share it all in the
Share it.
pocket. At the end of the day, catch a giant.
I like it.